East lead down to 3.5. Yankees can cut it to 3 with a win tonight against the Orioles. Mets trying to stay in the final NL wildcard spot. Take the rubber game with the Padres 6-1. Pete Alonso with a solo homer in the first, his 37th of the season. Brandon Nimmo going deep as well. New York now 2 up on the D-backs. Padres 2.5 back of the Dodgers in the NL West. Mariners a half game behind the Astros for the AL West lead, leading the Royals 2-0 in the top of the 8th inning. Brandon Crawford adding an RBI double. Jorge Polanco with an RBI double in the top of the 2nd to open the scoring. Seattle had their 10-game winning streak snapped yesterday, opening up a big 3-game weekend set with the Astros tomorrow.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, outside of the Chiefs, I'll tell you which 0-2 team I have the most faith in turning their season around. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride! Oh!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR. Presented by Decision Critical. Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt. Shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. Southeastern head coach Frank Scelfo in 15 minutes. Tommy Hat next hour. We'll have Mike Triplett in hour 3. Ton to do. Let us begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
All right, the New Orleans Saints are going to be wheels up to Seattle, the Pacific Northwest, tonight. Here on Thursday night, they'll practice in Seattle on Friday, kind of trying to get acclimated to the time zone change. So they'll practice in Seattle on Friday, and then obviously they're a walkthrough Saturday, and then play the game against the Seahawks Sunday, 3:05 Central Time, 1:05 local time there in Seattle. So before the Saints take off, though, we've not yet gotten the official injury report, but the Saints are just finishing practice, so we do have the attendance report. And unfortunately for New Orleans, there's not much that has changed. So this is up right now at LouisianaSports.net, and Chase Young did miss practice again here on Thursday. So it really begs the question, if Chase Young doesn't play this week, and it's trending that direction, right? Typically, if you're not at least a limited participant, like on the field doing football adjacent things by Friday, then it's unlikely that you're going to be able to play. So it'll be fascinating to see, does Chase Young even get on the plane to the Pacific Northwest, or does he stay here and continue to rehab that injured calf? But remember, there's IR rules in the NFL, injured reserve, where you can go on short-term IR. Now, if you go on short-term IR, you have to miss 4 games before you can open up the 21-day window to return. So if Chase Young misses this week and next week at Buffalo, it will beg the question, why didn't you put him on short-term IR and open up that roster spot for someone else? That would be a discouraging mismanagement of the roster if you don't have Young Sunday against Seattle or next week in Buffalo. But again, time still to determine how that may all play out, but something worth watching. But as of right now, Chase Young still absent, not practicing for New Orleans as they get ready for Seattle. On the other side, however, the other player that was absent on Thursday was Taliese Fuaga. That is also very disappointing. Look, Fuaga was limited throughout the week last week with the knee injury. They got him prepped, got him ready to go, and he played. Not only did he play, he was the Saints' highest-graded offensive lineman on PFF. He was the highest-graded run-blocking lineman on PFF, which is really impressive considering he played with a bum knee. Well, now it's not just a knee. He was also listed on Wednesday's injury report with a knee and a back. Kellen Moore was asked after Wednesday's practice about Taliesin Fuaga, about the back injury and when that started.
Yeah, it's just something that came up. Yeah, it's just something to try and get ahead of. And so there's just some maintenance stuff for Tali as we go through this process. And so, he's doing everything he can, and just like last week. Look,
Taliesin Fuaga battled through it last week, and he followed the path that you typically expect a veteran to take, and he's only in the second year. You spend the week rehabbing, getting ready to be able to get your body ready to play on Sunday. You give it your all on Sunday, and then you go through that process again. It's grueling. It's the life of an NFL player. These guys don't need to hear me say that. They live it, but it's just for your information. Like, I'm more confident in Taliesin Fuaga being able to go, but there is some circumstantial evidence that calls that into question we'll get to here in just a quick second. Now, Dylan Radins also did not practice on Thursday. Remember, Trevor Penning has been out, and he was replaced at left guard by Dylan Radins. Well, Radins started the first two games, and now he's been out this week with a toe. Dylan Radins has a toe, replacing Penning, who has also been out with a toe. So there's a toe epidemic there at the left guard spot right now for the New Orleans Saints. The maybe silver lining is that Penning was back at practice again on Thursday. So we do not know yet the injury designation. Was he a limited participant or a full participant? He was limited on Wednesday. So we'll wait for the injury report to see if he was limited or full, but he was out there. He was participating. And Penning, when he met with reporters after practice on Wednesday, talked about what he needs to do to be able to get out there and play on Sunday.
Really just, kind of how it feels, planting and stuff, and being able to do what I need to do, and just have power through it and use it to really do football stuff. So, it's just got to feel good to go. So.
Fascinating conversation there with Trevor Penning, who was trying to lay out what he needs to do, just feel okay to do football stuff. Here's hoping he gets there. The more interesting thing was when Kellen Moore was asked when Penning is healthy and returns, is he immediately your starter at left guard?
Yeah, we anticipate him going when healthy. He's ready to go. I thought he did a phenomenal job all offseason, and we'll see how everything progresses.
Okay. Now, that is a nice vote of confidence for Trevor Penning. As we all know, he's been much maligned. He was a first-round pick. He missed much of his rookie season. He was an abject disaster at left tackle in year two. Last year, he was better at right tackle than he was at left, but still not good. Now moving to guard feels like a more natural thing for him. Put him in a phone booth, protect him from being on the edge, let him go move bodies in the run game, which he, in theory, should be pretty good at when he's ready to roll. So we're all waiting to see that in the game, and hopefully that happens this weekend. But for Kellen Moore, that decision's made much easier because Dylan Radins is hurt. You don't have any options. And this is an offensive line that unfortunately has just been battered through camp and now in the early going of this season. Remember, you lost Will Clapp in the first preseason game for the year. You've also lost Nick Saldiveri to injured reserve for the year. So that's two reserve offensive linemen that are gone. Now Dylan Radins isn't practicing. Penning hasn't played the first two games, although he's trending toward coming back. We just talked about Taliesin Fuaga, who's still battling that knee injury and now a back injury. We'll see if he's ready to go. I guess the point being that Kellen Moore doesn't really have a great option. If Trevor Penning's healthy, he's able to play. He's got to go because you're already limited really on your numbers. And the Saints did, as a matter of fact, on Wednesday, add a couple of linemen to the practice squad. And look, these are down the line guys, not necessarily guys that you'd be really counting on. But Satao Laumea and Williams Sherman were both added to the practice squad. Now, Laumea is a tackle and Sherman is a guard. Obviously, those are insurance policies in the event that Penning, Radins, Fuaga can't go, and you need someone quickly that you can sign from your practice squad that's been with you this week, at least in a couple of practices, that can give it a go. So you're not talking about super experienced guys, but both were former draft picks. Laumea was a 2024 sixth-round pick, and Sherman was a 2021 sixth-round pick. LaMea with the Seahawks, the team the Saints are playing this week, and then Sherman with the Patriots, and then the Broncos now before coming to New Orleans. So the offensive line was a mash unit a year ago. It was tough to watch as that all continued to play out, and not a great start this year, at least with your depth. And it's one of the things with the Saints team we've talked a lot about. There are spots on this roster where your starters are good. They're good NFL starters. What you really lack is any type of quality depth. There's just a massive drop-off when you get past your starters, and you're seeing that a little bit already. So when we have the latest info, we'll share it with you. But the Saints look to be potentially shorthanded on the offensive line, potentially down a couple of starters, and then Chase Young not looking good as of right now as well. All right, our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints. If you're not going to Seattle, next time the Saints are at home here in a couple of weeks and you're in the Dome, make sure you drink plenty of ice-cold Bud Light. If you're tailgating, home gating, watching the game at your favorite sports bar, pub, restaurant, make sure you've got plenty of delicious ice-cold Bud Light, the official beer of the Who Dat Nation, the official beer of the New Orleans Saints, the official beer of the LSU Tigers as well. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light. All right, it's after further review. Saints are on the road. LSU's at home against Southeastern. The Lions are coming to Tiger Stadium. Paul O'Neill wearing his Lion green today. And he's fired up because the head coach of the Lions, Frank Scelfo, is going to join us next. We're looking forward to that. Stick around here at AFR.
After further review.
Duplessis Builders and DuplessisBuilders.net. I was chatting with Derek Duplessis literally yesterday. He was here in our office, and he was here to record some new commercials. And he was showing me a new feature on the website at DuplessisBuilders.net, 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 where you can pick your pool online. You buy cars online, you buy almost everything online. Why not your pool as well? So if you go to DuplessisBuilders.net, it's this easy. DuplessisBuilders.net, there's a Pick Your Pool tab at the top of the page. Hit that, and then you can scroll and search and design your own pool at DuplessisBuilders.net. Duplessis Builders does custom pools. They can do your beautiful, gorgeous custom pool, but they also have designs already made that you can then customize starting as low as $46,000. So you can build the big, gorgeous resort-style pool, but they got great customizable options that are for any budget. DuplessisBuilders.net.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
When it comes to industrial construction, River Parish Contractors can do it all. Mechanical, structural, custom fabrication, specialized welding, and turnaround services. Strategically located in between Baton Rouge and New Orleans, we have the local team with the experience and commitment to safety to manage the most complex industrial projects. Period. Here's the deal. Partnering with us means your project is delivered on time, on budget, and most important, safely. River Parish Contractors, let's get building.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country. in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Join us for Friday's AFR live from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Sagamore Spirit Rye. We'll have craft cocktails, someone's winning tickets to the game, and of course a fine.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Thank you. I appreciate everybody being here. I know I look like probably the reporter that asked Brian about the run game this past weekend. That guy ticked me off already, right? All he's going to do is piss off the head coach at LSU by can't run in the football, and he's going to play up.
That's Southeastern head coach Frank Scelfo earlier this week. And Coach Scelfo bringing his Lions into Tiger Stadium this weekend. Looking forward to the matchup Saturday night. Coach, it's a pleasure. I know it's a busy game week, but thanks for making some time for us. How are you?
Thank you, Matt. I appreciate you having me on, man. Doing great. Looking, finishing up, wrapping up the week. We've got a good practice schedule for the day and ready to get busy doing it.
It's interesting whenever you think about a game like this, Coach, because it's a great challenge for you, obviously, but it also comes a week before you're going to start conference play. I know you don't get to set the schedule, but are you okay with a game like this slapped right before you're going to begin your conference slate, which is so critical for your program?
Yeah, I'm not okay with a game like this anytime, Matt. Come on, you got to be kidding me, right? You know better than that.
Well,
what it is, here's what it is 5 years ago they told us we could never play again, right? You can't play football. They took away the game from us, and nobody could play. Then they started letting people play with empty stadiums, and it just wasn't the same. So when we got a chance to bring it all back and start playing again, you can never pass up an opportunity to do what we do. And I think this is my 44th year coaching, and I cannot imagine not that ever happening again to me. So am I embracing this? Yeah, hell yeah, I am. Look, we're going into one of maybe the most iconic stadium in the country, especially on a Saturday night. We're going to play one of the best teams in the nation, the number 3 ranked team in the country. Against an outstanding staff that I know most of them personally. Got players on the team that we recruited or we know.
Yeah.
And, the familiarity, I'm from this state. Obviously, I want LSU to win a national championship this year. And because it's good for the state when LSU wins. We know that. Everybody knows that. And but our opportunity to be able to do this, man, you can't. I'm not backing away from it. I'm excited about it. We look forward to it. But not for just the reasons that I just said. It's the opportunity to go do it again. And I really do. I believe this is the greatest game in the country, college football. And I know there's people that are going back and forth that once this is run, it's just getting better. And the teams are getting better and better. And we're getting rivalry matchups and cross-conference matchups that are exciting for the game that we play, that we get a chance to participate in.
Can I go back to something you said there at the beginning when you said you wouldn't be okay with a game like this anytime? Are you talking about specifically a Power 4 against an FCS type game? We understand that these games are a financial boon, but would you like to see these games sort of not happen in the future?
100%. I mean, look, think about this. You look at the Power 4 schools; those are all-star teams now. I mean, those guys, the two deep on those depth charts are. Those are great players. I mean, I turn on the film and I'm watching LSU play Clemson, and those are two just below NFL teams, right? They got some great players. LSU versus Florida, the same thing. I mean, there's great players on both sides of the football. And, when you look at the scores and what's taking place when you look at what Ohio State hanging 70 on Grambling, Northwestern getting beat by 70, Northwestern Louisiana getting beat by 70, Cincinnati and Minnesota, Florida State doing the same thing, these Texas A&M. The teams in our conference, playing the Power 4 schools, and We know why we do it. You'd just like to figure out another way to raise money except off of the backs of our players. But we know why we're doing it. But we also don't say, well, you know what? I'm going to back away from this thing. We're going to embrace it. It's hard, right? Men play this game, and it's hard to be a man in today's world. And to be a man, you got to do the things. And we're going to go do a hard thing on Saturday, but and we're not going to back away from it. And but we also know the purpose, the reasoning behind it. But that's secondary for us. It's primary for other people.
Yeah. Frank Scelfo is our guest. And, Coach, I think most people know your background. I mean, from Louisiana, you've coached at Louisiana high schools. You've coached those great Tulane teams, the 98 team, of course. Coaching the pros, you've coached at Arizona, coached Nick Foles. I mean, I think most people know the depth and length and experience of your career, which is it makes your I think it makes your comments carry even more weight. But you're right. They are going to play, the two teams are going to play a game this weekend that you have to prepare for. And it's interesting because you do have a common opponent that you both played Louisiana Tech. So is there anything in watching, is there any benefit for you or even for LSU in watching that game film of a common opponent?
100%. You look, what you're able to do is you're able to watch how they played against us and then how they played against LSU and how they matched up physically. So sometimes when you watch, say you watch LSU versus Florida, and you say, well, as an example, the tackle, the defensive end did a really good job against the left tackle. Maybe we can do that because he doesn't look like he's old, the size matchup. Well, Florida's guys are big. They're, you know what I mean? They're really good. And then when you see them against Louisiana Tech, now you have a measuring stick of us versus them also. So when you see that, you'll be able to put it in perspective, whereas when you watch them against Florida or versus Clemson, there's really not, you can't differentiate between those things when you look at it on film without seeing it in person. We were able to see Louisiana Tech live and play against them. We were able to watch the film on that and then also see LSU play Louisiana Tech. So now we can actually put it in perspective for us.
Frank Scelfo is our guest. Tigers and Lions this weekend in Tiger Stadium. Look, after played Tech tough, man. I mean, but for a couple of turnovers, that thing might have gone differently. But you've had one-sided wins against Murray State and Valley, and I keep looking at your defense from afar and being really impressed. What is working so well for your team on that side of the ball?
We've got a lot of experience over there, and I think our guys have really bought it. It's the third year under Billy Batavia, our defense coordinator. So we've been able to build up some stuff, and we've got a lot of guys that have come back. Like I said, a lot of guys have taken a lot of snaps for us, and I think that's where it comes from. There's a familiarity on that side of the ball. We've got a solid talent level, and we've got good depth. But I think the familiarity, being able to make adjustments and do things on the run, that's allowed us to make some plays. And I can see this. We have grown defensively in the first 3 weeks, and I'm looking forward to that continuing to happen throughout the season.
You throughout your career, I know you've coached quarterbacks a bunch, but you also spent time coaching tight ends. And this is an obvious question. I'm sure you're going to be asked about a bunch if you haven't already. But you had Bauer Sharp there at Southeastern as a quarterback, and then I would assume it was you who made the decision to convert him to tight end. Can you maybe go back and walk us through that decision, like with Bauer in your program, and then the decision to move him to tight end?
Absolutely. When my son Anthony, who's our offensive coordinator, is the one found Bauer and told us about him. And he said, I'm not sure he's a quarterback or not, but he is something. And we signed him and brought him in. And sure enough, what he is more than anything else, Matt, he is one hell of a competitor. And so his work ethic is off the charts. And we saw that early on. And I love Bauer to death, but I don't think Bauer could throw. Bauer would have a tough time hitting the wall if he was standing in front of him, right? He knows that, and that's why. So we spent that first year giving him an opportunity to see if he could develop into that guy. And then after that first year, he says, Coach, I play. Bauer, I think I can get you on the field. Well, let's start with special teams, and let's see how you handle that, and then go from there. And obviously did a great job. And then I said, look, you can play full-time if we can make a position change. He says, all I want to do is play, and all I want to do is help this team win. I'll do whatever you need me to do. And he embraced it. And how many guys do you want like that on your team? Yeah. Everybody, right? Yeah. Everybody's so selfish about everything, and that's not him. he is like he's the ultimate team guy because all he wants to do is win, and he will do anything that he can to help people win, and he's going to prepare that way too. And so he's got a great arm now. He can throw a ball through a car wash without getting wet, but he might miss the whole car wash too the next time he throws it. So I think he's playing in a perfect spot, and he will excel. He's going to play. He's going to be a great player for him this year, and he's going to have a chance to play this game for a long time.
I think a lot of LSU fans are laughing at Coach. I don't know if you saw when he was at Oklahoma a year ago. He threw an interception on a trick play in Tiger Stadium. I don't know if you knew that, but
believe me, he got some text messages from me on that throw. I can tell you that. I told him, I said, we've seen that pass before. I mean, come on, man.
That's so good. I got a couple more for you. I appreciate your time, especially on a game week, man.
No, we're good, man. We're good.
Thank you. If I could, I'll ask one more about the game in a second. But the portal and NIL, it's changed everything. But Bauer's a great illustration of that, right? That's a guy who your son found, got him in, position change, developed, and then boom, he's off to Oklahoma now. He's at LSU. That obviously has a negative effect on your program, or does it? I mean, how are you continuing? I mean, this is your 8th year at Southeastern now, and you've seen the transformative change of NIL and portal. So how are you continuing to build and manage a roster in this era?
We build it with high school players. The majority of our players are out of high school. We recruit them out of high school. We identify them, develop them, evaluate them, develop them, and we keep them here. Every one of our offensive linemen, we signed out of high school. We have no offensive linemen from the transfer portal. Only a couple of defensive linemen, no linebackers. So the majority of all of our tight ends are from high school that we signed out of high school. So the majority of our players are high school players, and we're going to continue to do that. Southeastern Louisiana, I said it when I got here, this state has the best high school football. I'm from here, and we love it here. They have a passion. Some of the talent might not be quite as good, but the passion makes up for it. And those are the guys that we get. And when you look at it, I know we keep him as a junior and then he's gone, right? And everybody's complaining about that. Well, FBS has been doing this for a long time. After your 3rd year, guys are declaring for the NFL draft. There's no difference. It's the same thing. You develop them and you get them to where, man, this guy's going to have a great senior year, and now he's gone. Well, hopefully you have prepared a little bit to make sure that you have something backing that guy up for the future. And that's what we're trying to do here. That's what we've been doing here. Our culture is good, Matt. We've got 24 seniors this year. And that speaks volumes to me about our culture that we have in our program, that guys want to come here. But when they get here, they realize how special it is, and they stay here. We had an opportunity for some guys to leave and go take some money this year. They didn't. They opted to stay here. And now, because of that, we've got some people here in town that are willing to pony up and put some money in the NIL, and we're going to try to get in the game so that we can start taking care of our own, that we don't lose so many guys to the portal for minimum amounts. And I think that's where the game has changed. Everybody knows that. Teams are getting, I think the Power 4 teams, they're doing such a job of managing everything, but it is a job. And we're having to figure things out along the way at our level, and that's what we're doing. But it's about the appreciation of the and what he's actually trying to do. Does he really want to play the game? Does he have a passion for the game? Does he love it, or is he just looking for a buck? And some of those guys show their hand pretty quick, and you just kind of move away from those guys.
Coach, before you go, Saturday in Tiger Stadium, look for, as you mentioned, so many of your guys who prepped in the state are going to be fired up just for the opportunity to play in Tiger Stadium. But aside from winning the game, what would you like to see from your team Saturday night? What would be a best outcome for the Lions?
The same thing that we ask for them every week is that we go in there and we do the things that we can do. We play. We don't have the unforced errors. We don't false start. We don't jump off sides. We don't turn the football over. And it sounds like coach speak, but you've been around the game for so long. You know that that's what lends itself to winning and losing. And when you do those things, it doesn't necessarily happen on the scoreboard. Don't worry about the scoreboard. But what it will do is it's going to help you build for the future. So last week we did the same thing. A great example was us against Louisiana Tech. We turned it over 3 times and won them for a touchdown, and we had 9 penalties. The next week we turned it over twice, but we had 0 penalties. This past week, we didn't turn it over at all and had 1 penalty. That's what I call progress. The scoreboard, I wasn't upset about the scoreboard in any of the games, and I know we won 2, and you can say, well, yeah, that's why. But no, it was the progress that we made throughout those during that process of those games. We're process-oriented, not goal-oriented. I want to win the game. But during the course of that game, I want us to play clean. I want us to do a good job. I want us to be able to handle the crowd noise, handle the pressure, because we get to the playoffs, that stuff's going to come back, not quite at that, obviously not at that level, but it's going to come back. There's going to be a lot of pressure on you and a lot of stress on you. And we want to be able to handle that, and this will give us a good example of how we can do that.
Lions have made the FCS playoffs 3 times under Coach Scelfo. Here's hoping this year it'll be 4. Coach, I know it's not easy to do this on a game week, but we do sincerely appreciate a couple of minutes of your time. Good luck this weekend and moving forward the rest of the year.
Thank you, Matt, and I appreciate everything you do for us, man. I really do. We'll maybe see you on Saturday.
Would love to. Thank you, Coach.
Okay, buddy. Bye-bye.
That's Frank Scelfo, the head coach of the Lions. You can tell me I love his candor, and when you've been around for as long as Coach Scelfo has, like you've earned the right to be candorous. Not that, I mean, anybody could be candorous, right? But a lot of times you might get caught up in coach speak. That's just honesty, and I love that. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Evamore, EVAMOR, Evamore.com, Evamore.com. As a matter of fact, today I had to stop and get gas, pulled in the gas station, went inside, went into the water cooler, boom, Evamore. Grabbed a 32-ounce bottle. Look, if it's at your local gas station, if it's at the grocery store, go into that water section and the water aisle at the grocery store and look for Evamore, EVAMOR. It's a Louisiana product. Support a great Louisiana company that also happens to be a healthier alternative than tap water and other bottled water products. This is natural artesian water. Learn more about it. Go read some of the reviews. They can't make any medical claims or anything like that, but go read reviews of real people and what they've said, how their lives have changed, making that switch to a healthier, natural artesian water like Evamore. EVAMOR, Evamore.com. Available at great local retailers. Find a retailer nearest you at Evamore.com. All right, it is After Further Review. Thanks to Coach Scelfo. Tom Hart will be on the call. It'll be Tom Hart, Jordan Rogers, Cole Kubelik, Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. Tom Hart's going to be with Tommy Hat in 28 minutes from right now. Always look forward to having Tom on the show. We'll do that here soon. We're brought to you by Decision Critical, concierge nursing in Baton Rouge. You can always set up that discovery call with them at decisioncriticalbr.com, decisioncriticalbr.com. We're going to knock out a quick break. We'll go around the SEC when we come back. We got Thursday Night Football tonight. Ton to do on a jam-packed show. I'm glad you're hanging out with us here on AFR, presented by Decision Critical, concierge nursing in Baton Rouge.
AFR.
Gulf Coast Bank & Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank & Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Join us for Friday's AFR live from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Sagamore Spirit Rye. We'll have craft cocktails, someone's winning tickets to the game, and, of course, a fine premium cigar. Friday's AFR, presented by Sagamore Spirit.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team colors, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
All right, thanks again to Coach Frank Scelfo for joining us. Talk a little bit about bringing his Lions into Tiger Stadium this weekend. Paulie, who you cheering for this weekend? Paul O'Neill, noted Southeastern Lion alum in the Southeastern Hall of Fame, by the way, if you're not familiar. Paul O'Neill, greatest student ever there, better than Taylor Sharp. Who are you going for, Paulie?
I'm going for my Lions.
Okay. It's kind of hard to be mad at him, right, Muse? Like,
It's a school.
It's a school.
It's a school.
Right? It's a school.
Like, I get it.
It's a school. Paulie proudly wear. Are you wearing Southeastern today? You were yesterday, weren't you?
I was wearing it yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday, but not what we got today? Braves? No, wait. We got again? Back-to-back days?
Back-to-back.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Wow, I tell you what. I don't know. I would say he's drawing a line in the sand, except like he's wearing a jacket to cover it, almost like he's embarrassed by it. It's kind of what it feels
Not
like.
embarrassed.
It kind of feels like it. I'm just going to say, like,
a little cold in here.
I'm perfectly comfortable. Use.
I mean, of course, I'm always cold. Sorry.
Yeah, you're a little guy. Sorry.
I don't think that has anything to do with why I'm cold.
It could.
Wow.
It could. You know.
I don't think that has any bearing on that.
As much mass to keep you warm. I got more mass in my body.
Okay, okay.
You never heard like?
I mean, no. Now you say that. I mean, I
more body mass.
I feel like that's different from like weight though and height. I don't know. I was horrible at biology. I did physical science. Like, hey.
So I took. Fun fact. I took at LSU. I took and dropped biology 3 times before I finally took it. Made a D just so I could pass and graduate. I was like, can I just please, whatever I have to do to get a passing grade so I can graduate. I will never use any of this in my life. And then I had a special needs child. We spent 9 months in the hospital, and I know way more about biology and things, words that like, this is tangential. I apologize, but when we were in the hospital with Drew all those months, I would write him a letter every night, basically say like, this is your day. So assuming when he was older, he could read about what his early life was like. Now he'll never be able to read that and understand it, but it's still a cool thing. You know, it's documentation of what we went through. But I go and I read, and I'm like, what is that? Like now, 9 years, I'm like, what is that word? What in the world? Like, I mean, I probably could have had an honorary MD for a brief time anyway in that sector. But anyway, yeah, I was terrible at biology. All science, to be honest.
Awful.
All right, it's after further review. We're glad you're with us. So we are brought to you by Rouse's, official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints, Rouses.com, helping you cover the spread all year long. Heading out to the Tiger game this weekend. Make sure you're swinging by Rouses. A great option if you're going to campus. If you go up Burbank, there's the Rouses right there at Burbank and Lee. So, you could be driving to campus, just pull into Rouses, grab what you need. Grab your ice, grab your beers, your whiskey, your wine, your RTDs, your chips, salsas, dips, party trays, platters, whatever you need for your tailgate, dessert, sweets. I got it all for you at Rouses, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints, helping you cover the spread, your tailgate spread, all throughout the year. Rouses.com, Rouses.com. Rouses! This feels like home. Also, Muse and Hanny will be at Rouses. That's that very Rouses on Saturday for Eagle 98.1 game day. Every single LSU game day. It's where they originate from. So get them by, see Hanny and Muse over at Rouses, Burbank and Lee, every LSU game day this year. All right, we do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the South Carolina Gamecocks.
Quarterback Lenora Sellers officially listed as questionable on the SEC availability report for Saturday's game at Missouri. Sellers has been in practice, and there is optimism around his availability. They have not declared the injury per se, but is believed to be a concussion that he suffered on Saturday in the loss against Vanderbilt. Beamer made it clear as policy. If you don't practice Tuesday and Wednesday, you can't play. So Sellers has been out there. We'll see if he'll be ready for Saturday at Missouri.
The Texas Longhorns.
Sark gave an update on Trey Wisner and DeAndre Moore. Of course, Quintravion Wisner, the starting running back, he's doubtful for Saturday's game against Sam Houston, according to Sark. And then he hasn't played since the opener against Ohio State due to a leg injury. And then wide receivers DeAndre Moore and Emmett Mosley. Moore will return to the lineup after missing the UTEP game with a concussion. Mosley has not played this season. He'll also miss the Sam Houston game, recovering from a leg injury.
The Florida Gators.
Wide receiver Dallas Wilson has returned to practice. Billy Napier said he anticipates that Wilson will return to practice during the bye week. So they play Miami this week. Next week their bye is when they anticipate him returning. It's been a lower leg injury suffered during training camp. Hasn't played in the first 3 games. Of course, he was the top 10 wide receiver in the country. The number 50 overall player of the 2025 class was Wilson when he signed with the Gators.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Chavez Dixon has committed to Ole Miss. He's a 2027 offensive lineman out of Georgia. 6'4", 305, the 4th commitment for Lane Kiffin's 2027 class. He's the number 24 interior offensive lineman in the country. He had offers from Arkansas, Georgia Tech, Memphis, South Florida, Texas A&M, and others.
The Arkansas Razorbacks.
And Arkansas and their 2026 quarterback commit split ways. Javon Gilmore, who's out of South Carolina, is decommitted from Arkansas. 6'5", 200-pounder. Been committed since August of 2024. He's been committed for more than a year now. Apparently, this was a mutual decision between the two. Razorbacks now done 25 commits for the class of 2026. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical. Maybe you're wanting to get out and tailgate a little bit on Saturday, go to the game, but maybe you care for an elderly parent and you feel guilty about leaving your home. Well, Decision Critical offers concierge nursing services. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. So if you need an expertly trained nurse to come in-home for you, maybe to care for your loved one while you go have a day and you can do so guilt-free, they can do that. Bring in a newborn home and you need help sleeping through the night and you need someone to take care of your child while you sleep through the night, Decision Critical can help with that. Maybe if you're caring for an elderly parent, or maybe you've gotten an unfortunate diagnosis and you need in-home care, or wherever you may need care. In the hospital, you need someone to be with you at appointments. Decision Critical's expertly trained nurses can help with any of that. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. They'll work with you to make sure that they're covering your insurance first before you go out of pocket. They'll work with all that. It just starts with that discovery call to find out more. DecisionCriticalBR.com, DecisionCriticalBR.com. All right, it is after further review. I have a quick minute here. If you didn't hear the news today, the NCAA did, in fact, approve the decision to go to one transfer portal window. So they have now eliminated the spring transfer portal. This was the recommendation by the oversight committee, but it has now been ratified. So there's no longer a spring transfer portal window, and the December portal window has been moved to early January. So if you remember, this was something that Brian Kelly said the SEC coaches were unanimously in favor of.
We're in support of the new portal window to a man in the SEC, and I've talked to many that believe across the country this is the progress that we need to make. I want to get my roster set. Now, I know there's probably 12 or 16 teams that might be in the playoffs at that time. I'm sorry, there's no crying on the yacht. I mean, we got to get this thing set, and it's best positioned at this time to allow us to set our rosters moving forward.
The other side of it is that Ohio State head coach Ryan Day was opposed to this decision, and explained why.
I don't think it's a good idea at all. In the conversations that we had with the Big Ten coaches, I think the majority of them agree. I just don't quite understand how, for teams that are playing in the playoffs, are expected to make the decisions and sign their upcoming players while they're still getting ready to play for games. It doesn't make any sense to me. I know the calendar is funky, but I know that the Big Ten and Tony Petitti's been working hard because he doesn't believe it either, and neither do the coaches in the Big Ten. We had a lot of long discussions about that and tried to work through the different windows, but I don't agree with it being in January. For whatever it's worth, I mean, this is checkmark SEC X for the Big Ten. The SEC gets their way here over the Big Ten. My personal opinion, and I tell you all the time, and you're never going to leave here wondering, I wonder what Scone thought about that. I'm always going to give you an opinion. I agree with Ryan Day. I think this is the wrong decision. And not so much necessarily just moving the window from December to January, although I think that does complicate things for teams in the playoff. It certainly does. But eliminating the spring portal window, I think the windfall that you're going to have now is even more players are going to go in the transfer portal because you only have the one window. You don't necessarily have the opportunity to play out a season, a postseason, and then say, look, I'm going to go through spring and then assess and maybe go in the spring portal window. You have one shot over a 10-day period. So anyone who might even be on the fence, they're going to the portal. And remember, you don't have to commit to a school at the time you go in the portal. You just have to enter your name at that point. So to think your roster is going to be set at that point, as Brian Kelly said, I think is a little short-sighted. So, there's pros and cons to both sides, but my personal opinion is eliminating the spring portal window is a big mistake. And I remember LSU got Joe Burrow in the spring, after spring football. You got A.J. Halsey after spring football. You got Bernard Gooden after spring football. I think eliminating that spring portal window is a big mistake for college football. All right, it's after further review. We're going to knock out a quick break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour number one. We do not have our Fantasy Blitz today. My apologies for that. Darren Tietken's traveling. He'll be back with us next week. So Musa do Tigers and the Pros next.
AFR.
Man, we just saw the Fed bump down interest rates. As the rates come down, the activity in the home market continues to go up. This is the time. You don't want to wait until the market's flooded and saturated with properties, and then you're competing with other sellers. You want to get in the market now if you're thinking about selling your home. You could be in your new home for the holidays. Darren James can help you do it. Agent225.com, agent225.com. And remember, if you want to sell your home, you first got to know what it's worth. If you're thinking of buying a new home, you probably got to sell yours first. If you want an accurate appraisal of your home, you can do it for free in less than 30 seconds. Do it right now. I'm serious. Get out your phone. If you're at your desk, open up your laptop or whatever it may be. Go to agent225.com, agent225.com. You'll see the home value tab. Type in your address. Do it right now, literally as quickly as you can type in your address. That's how quickly you can have this done. Agent225.com. Hit the home value tool right now.
Think real estate. Think Darren James.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even JB could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of JB Falgout.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Wrapping up hour number one, Tom Hart. Join us here a little more than 10 minutes from right now, right after Sports Center. We'll get Lee Sterling's best bets next hour as well. Mike Triplett in hour three. Right now, Muso. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Earlier on Thursday, Ian Rappaport reports that Joe Burrow is set to have surgery on Friday if swelling allows. Of course, he's undergoing the procedure to repair his grade 3 turf toe. He'll do that at Andrews Sports Medicine in Birmingham.
He's got the toe.
He's got the toe. It is also possible that it gets pushed back a few days. Keep that in mind as Burrow still faces a 3-month recovery. Latest update on Jaden Daniels dealing with his knee sprain. He once again did not practice on Thursday. Got a knee. Status on his quote, iffy status, certainly becoming more clear now as he has not practiced yet this week. One more NFL note. The Texans have signed Jalen Mills to their practice squad. How about that, man? 31 years old, has made 115 appearances in regular season games so far throughout his career. Former 7th rounder, really, really blossomed into a nice player. We'll see if he can catch on with Houston. Kevin Gausman on the bump a night ago for the Blue Jays was phenomenal. 6 innings, 1 run, punched out 6, got a no decision. Because this team, well, we're not going to say they stink. They're leading their division. Jaden Hill, inning, a run. Unfortunately got tagged with the loss. And how about Dylan Cruz? He was phenomenal a night ago against the Braves. 2 out of 4, a double, an RBI. He scored twice. Since he's come back from injury, he's really starting to look like kind of, the Dylan Cruz we're used to. That's Tigers in the pros.
Presented by Supper Club, supperclubbtr.com, supperclubbtr.com. Weekend is here, y'all. Get by Supper Club. Great way to start the weekend with a Thursday. I'm telling you, I shared this news with you earlier in the week, but Chef Layton let me know they got their latest Sagrera cow in. There's a scale called the IMF scale. It's the intramuscular fat scale. That's how they grade the quality of beef. And there's there's choice and there's prime, and it goes up to like prime plus. Well, once you get north of like 9, you're into prime plus. The Sagrera cow that Supper Club got just last week was a 14 on that scale. It's like almost unheard of. I'm telling you, want to taste the most exquisite steaks that you'll have, the greatest quality beef, be it the Japanese Omi beef, their Wagyu, the Sagrera cows. you will have the greatest dining experience no matter what you want. Go get the veal parm. I dream about the veal parm. Their Chilean sea bass is outstanding. Everything they do. Their king crabs are literally from the boats from the show The Deadliest Catch. And they come in the box with the crates. It tells you what ship they came off of. Have yourself a weekend. Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com for your reservations. SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. SportsCenter's coming up here. We get you caught up on national headlines. We'll talk to Tom Hart when we come back after the top of the hour. Also, next week on Tuesday, the SEC is set to announce the 2026 football opponents. We won't know the order or the schedule, but we will know the SEC opponents. Got some thoughts on that. We'll get to that in hour number 2 as well. We're glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows door siding. Oh, yeah. They do shutters as well. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Storm season, thankfully, is coming to an end. It has been a mild storm season, but I want to remind you that Relief Windows does have impact-resistant windows. We actually have these installed at our house. When Eric and I bought the house that we're in now in 2016, one of the first things we did, within the first month of living in that home, we had Brandon and the gang from Relief Windows come out in our den. It's beautiful. It's an L-shaped window wall that looks out to our back patio and our pool and everything like that. And Brandon actually had the idea of doing picture windows to remove the cross-shaped pane, so it's an even more beautiful view outside. But it's also, with that much glass, it could be dangerous. So we installed the impact-resistant windows. These are Cat 5 approved in Miami-Dade County. So it's an extra layer of security to your house. It beautifies the exterior of your home, increases home's resale value, lowers your energy bills. You got to check out all that they have to offer. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
When you can't rely on technology, you can rely on Mountain Cold Refreshment.
Dave's back on.
Coors Light. Choose chill.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
It's not just a game, it's a religion. You've got your team color, team swag, and now your very own website. LouisianaSports.net. Everything LSU, Saints, and Pelicans. Sports on demand. In-depth coverage by sports writing pros with continuously updated news. And with the LouisianaSports.net newsletter, you get pinged directly with top trending stories. Best of all, now and always, no paywall. It's free. LouisianaSports.net. Powered by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Your home for Louisiana sports.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Man,
Age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can...
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Dodgers making their push for the playoffs, looking to defend their World Series title, will be future Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw's final season. Three-time Cy Young winner announcing he'll retire at the end of the year, set for his final regular season homestart tomorrow. Former MVP finishing his 18th Major League season, reached the 3,000 strikeout mark earlier this year. Kershaw saying goodbye. Justin Verlander hoping to keep going. Giant starter has allowed just 3 runs in his last 31 innings, lowering his 2025 ERA to 3.75. Three-time Cy Young winner says he wants to return for his 21st season in 2026 at age 43. Meanwhile, Red Sox falling into a tie for the last AL wildcard spot, dropping their finale to the A's 5-3 this afternoon. Brent Rooker homering as part of a 3-run A's first inning. Mariners and Astros tied for the AL West lead in the second wildcard in the AL. Seattle beating the Royals this afternoon 2-0. Jorge Polanco and J.P. Crawford with RBI doubles.
Hey, it's your resident Super Bowl champ, Chris Candy. Coming up Friday, outside of the Chiefs, I'll tell you which 0-2 team I have the most faith in turning their season around. It's Unsportsmanlike, weekday mornings at 6, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's ride!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
You so. And Mr. Toby Tomplake. All right. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We'll talk to Mike Triplett coming up next hour. What to watch this weekend from me, Paulie Muse, in about 30 minutes from right now. Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. The SEC Network crew will be there. Tommy Hott, be Jordan Rogers, and Cole Kublik. Tom's good enough to join us for a couple of minutes. Great to chat, man. Thank you as always for the time. How are you?
What up, Home Slice? I'm fantastic.
I would like to congratulate you on quite literally the best tweet after Auburn claimed their 9 titles. Simply, I'm now 6'5". It's so good. It's so good. Do you ever get flack from the league for stuff like that?
No, I don't. But others have. There is a basketball analyst. I'll keep his name out of this story. He has worked other leagues in the past, but he once had a tweet that I think probably got him kicked off SEC games. There was a French soccer coach who got arrested by Swiss authorities for going over the mountains with like $500,000 in a suitcase in his trunk. And this guy retweeted the story and said, "Sounds like a great SEC coach." And the folks in Birmingham were not too happy. So I think they pay attention. You know, you got to be careful. Make sure that if you're poking fun, everybody else has to be poking fun at the same time. But what are we doing? We're just making up our own championships? Like, come on now.
Tom, you're going to be in Tiger Stadium on Saturday. They claim 1958. Like that's the Billy Cannon championship. You're gonna see a flag in Tiger Stadium, and Auburn says they won it now. It's so weird.
How mad is Bud Wilkinson about that?
Right?
Like, what do we? Yeah, there were other teams. Yeah. There were other champions. I guess that's the beauty of college football, right? I mean, this is what makes it fun. There are no rules. Everything's random. Everything's fun. 19 to 20, I guess 27-year-old kids these days. Like, you don't know what you're going to get.
What about Diego Pavia, man?
Oh, my Lord, Diego Pavia. What are we doing?
He's trying to get $4 million, man. Can you be mad at him, really? Like, if there's a way to get back for one more year and get a $4 million payday, I can't be mad at the guy for that.
I don't want this to come up the wrong way, but for everything that Vanderbilt University has prided itself on, is there not a more outrageous pipeline in the world than New Mexico State to Vanderbilt?
Yes. Well, where was he before New Mexico? Wasn't it some like minors?
He was a junior college.
It was like something minors community, like bro. I mean, this is an impressive comeuppance here for Diego Pavia. Hey, you're gonna look. One of the cool things you get to do, obviously, is you get to go into every venue in the league. And I'm certain there are things that you look forward to when you go to all of the 16 teams. When you get to come to Baton Rouge, is there something in particular that you really look forward to that's part of the uniqueness of a game day in Baton Rouge?
There's a lot. There really is. And I usually come in on Thursday afternoon and spend some time at practice, and I like seeing teams go through the rigors. You know, you get a better feel for who's who and how they interact and all that stuff. I can't make it there today for various reasons, but I like neck. Like, I like it when they play neck. I love seeing people cringe. I love the passion that surrounds neck. Like, that's probably and honestly, I actually brought that up in our production call this week. I said I want to hear the history of neck. I want somebody to explain that. I don't know what the line is on this game. I can imagine what it's going to be.
I don't think it's posted yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Once it hits, I'm kind of over the 66-year-old tuba player. I think it's a great story. But if we're going to talk band, talk to me about neck. That's what I want to hear.
Let's go. I'll get you a shirt. Let the band play neck. I'll get you a shirt.
Please.
Please. Tom
It'll match my tattoo.
You know, you're toeing the line of maybe making some of the suits in Birmingham cringe with some of this, Tommy. We just got to be careful.
I know. They'd probably be a little bit uncomfortable with that. But let's be honest. Like, we're all about entertainment.
Yes.
And gosh, man, I would love to call Georgia, Alabama, and all of the, like LSU, Bama, and all that stuff. Our schedule's our schedule. And we try to make it, and I think our group does a great job as entertaining as possible, because what Jordan and Cole what they excel at is I feel like we can pivot from talking about neck to breaking down the double A gap blitz. And, where's the robber coming from, and what does that mean? And those guys just live and breathe this stuff, and it's fun for me to work with them. And I learn more about the game of football every time I'm on the air with them, and hopefully our viewers can pick up a little bit too.
I don't think there's a single crew, and I watch a lot of football, that has more fun than the three of you, and that makes it fun for the audience. Is that something I know the answer to that, but I'll ask it so you can elaborate. Like, is that something you all work on, or is that something that happens organically?
No, I think it's organic because got to be careful how I phrase this. Contrary to some other crews out there, and smart viewers can see it, we want to be there. Like, I was in broadcasting for a number of years before I got to do SEC football. This was the holy grail. Like, this was my goal, and it didn't matter if it was Southeastern and LSU. Like, no, I get to do a game at night at Tiger Stadium. Are you kidding me? Like, yes, sign me up for that. Cole was the same way. Jordan played in the league. Like, we all want to be there. And I think about it, when you go to a holiday party with your friends versus a holiday party at the company where the boss is, and there's two very different vibes, right? There's being required to be there and wanting to be there. And we want to be there. And I think that's where that fun comes from, because we have this natural curiosity when it comes to the teams and the players and the programs, and dang neck, like we're curious about stuff. And so then when we get answers, we want to share the stuff that we've learned. And hopefully it's interesting to people. I mean, we had a great chat this afternoon. I got to be honest with you, with Frank Scelfo. And it started with the culture of the program. And they've got 18 seniors that have been around there. They got 6 guys that are 6-year guys. That just doesn't happen in this day and age. Their entire offensive line has been there for 4 years. Like, what he's built there and how they've treated their players, I think, needs to be commended in this era where people can just up and leave at any minute. But while we're talking about culture, then that turns into a conversation about the candy jar on his desk. And he and I get in a borderline fist fight over what's better, Snickers or a Twix.
Well,
like he is Team Snickers, and
it's
I
obviously
love Twix.
It's Twix. It's obviously Twix.
I'm with you, but then I got demoralized because heck, ain't got that much chocolate. There's no nuts. There's cardboard in the middle, and where the hell's the caramel? Like, I love talking with Frank Scelfo about his favorite candy just as much as I love talking to him about ball, and that's what I love about what I get to do every day.
Whenever I play golf at the turn, I always get a Snickers because that feels like it gives me a jolt through the back nine. But if I'm just going to the gas station and I'm going to go down the candy aisle and my two choices are Snickers, or if I go in the vending machine in the basement of this building, it's Twix. If it's one, it's Twix. It's like if it's Halloween. If it's Halloween and you're going to the candy bowl and there's a little fun size and you're either getting a Twix or a Snickers, 100 times out of 100 you're taking a Twix first.
You're a great American.
Unless if the candy bowl is at the turn and I'm going to the back nine, and then I'm probably going to grab the Snickers. That's the only exception.
I will change your life with one suggestion if you'll take me up on it next time you're headed to golf. Okay. You got to do this beforehand because it's not usually available, but substitute a payday for that Snickers. Change your life. I'm just saying.
I'm a big fan of the payday. Look, and you're talking to a former fat kid, so I am very familiar with the candy aisle. I love a payday because I love the saltiness of the peanut in the payday with the contrast. Now, the texture is a little tough to get around, but that contrast of the sweet and salty together is very underrated. I do agree with you there. We talked to Frank Scelfo about an hour ago, and he was pretty adamant, and he's great. I'm sure you enjoyed your convo with him. He's fantastic. He's pretty adamant. Like, he does not ever want to see Power 4 against FCS games, like, ever again. He understands why they do them, but he doesn't want them. Where do you fall on that, Tom?
He is a man of following my own heart. I think, we'll get a change with the 9-game schedule in conference, and I think it won't totally solve this problem, but we'll get a little bit closer. We opened the season with Monroe at Bama.
Oh, God.
And we highlighted the simple revenue difference between the two programs. And it's night and day. And I wonder why the hell we're playing these games. What do you get out of it? How do you charge the same for parking for this game as you're going to charge for, the Bama game or the Texas game or whatever over the years? How's it fair to the fan base? And listen, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't play games where there is an obvious talent disadvantage. That is going to happen during the course of the schedule when it's, however you want to phrase it, D1 versus D1. But they're not living on the same planet in terms of financial support and therefore talent level. And I just, as excited as I am to be in that stadium Saturday night, I have a hard time seeing why it's necessary for this game to occur when you could substitute somebody better. And by the way, in their defense, I mean, what they did against Mississippi Valley State last week is the same thing. I mean, that team at Strawberry Stadium was totally overmatched. And guys get some run and everybody gets out there and gets to get some minutes, and your parents feel good reading the box score the next day, I suppose. I just don't know. In a season that is so short and the sample size is so small, it feels like a throwaway to waste one of your 12 regular season games on such a large mismatch.
Amen. I was going to ask you about Nuss's torso injury, but we'll probably just send you out with neck and be respectful of your time and let you get to what you got to do. This is Tom Hart, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. There's neck for you.
You better cut me off before I start my lyrics. You better mute my mic, because I know the words.
That, in fact, will have the folks in Birmingham giving you a call, Tom.
They got my number. Thanks, brother.
Thank you for the time. That is Tom. Have a great call. We appreciate it. That is Tom Hart. Tom, Jordan, Cole will be on the call Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. They're the best. Like, they are the most fun crew to listen to. I don't even think it's close. He is going to be respectful and not name names. I do name names. A lot of these, I'm very collegial with a lot of these folks, but there's a lot of people that aren't good and they're a tough listen. Those guys, it doesn't matter if you're and it's in every sport. Tom calls when he's on SEC baseball. He is the best on SEC baseball. I'm looking forward to watching and listening to those guys on Saturday night. We appreciate Tom. Okay, it's After Further Review. Thanks for being here with us. We're brought to you by the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or williamsoneye.com. That's williamsoneye.com for the Williamson Eye Center. Call Dr. Blake Williamson, set up that consultation. LASIK, PRK, EVO ICL, that's the implantable contact lens. That's a reversible procedure where they implant a contact lens in your eye. The custom lens replacement. There's so many options. It doesn't matter your age or your refractive issue. If you want to ditch the contacts and glasses forever, the Williamson Eye Center can make that happen. So call 924-2020, 924-2020, 924-2020 to set up that consultation today. 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Okay, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're hanging out with us here. Thursday shows are presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. Muse, Paulie, and I in 15 minutes will get to what to watch. 3 things each of us are watching this football weekend. I will knock out a quick break and continue. Lee Sterling in half an hour with his best bets for the weekend. He was 4-1 last week. It's AFR.
AFR.
Y'all get on by Clegg's Nursery, any of the 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area, Seagan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every single day to buy local and shop local. That's because Clegg's has been serving greater Baton Rouge for 60 years, y'all. 60 years. You kidding me? Bypass the big box store. Why would you go to the big box store when you have a great local retailer like Clegg's that's been invested in our community for 6 decades? They got a great selection, man. The pumpkins are out. All the fall decor displays are out. The hay bales, the wheat stalks, the squash gourds, scarecrows. They got everything there if you want to decorate your front porch, your back patio, your office space, any of it. It's there for you at Clegg's Nursery. And, of course, great selection of flowers and plants and trees and shrubs. The most knowledgeable staff, y'all. So get on by and see our friends today. Buy local, shop local at Clegg's Nursery.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized, it'll be time efficient, and you will have your pool in no time.
Flight by Yingling is raising the bar by crafting the next generation of light beer. With only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
.1045 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing high school student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
This is kind of a bummer. Of course, the Saints in the city of New Orleans just crushed it this past February when they hosted the Super Bowl. And the anticipation or the expectation was that New Orleans would next bid to host the Super Bowl in 2031. Well, Jeff Duncan was part of a report today with a couple of other staff writers, Anthony McCauley and Tyler Bridges, over at NOLA.com. The city of New Orleans missed the deadline to bid to host that Super Bowl. That's a real bummer, man. And it's because the city hasn't been able to agree yet on a lease extension, or the team hasn't agreed on a lease extension with the team to stay there in the Dome beyond 2030, which is the current deal that they have. So, of course, you have to be an NFL city to be able to host a Super Bowl, and it's one of the reasons primarily why the NFL was so adamant about getting back into Los Angeles, not only because it's the number 2 media market in the country, but Super Bowl is a big part of that. And as soon as the league got back into LA with the Rams and the Chargers, they waived the waiting period for a team to host and immediately brought the Super Bowl to Los Angeles and SoFi Stadium. And they had an awesome halftime show as well. I mean, Fitty was upside. Remember that? Fitty was upside down. Snoop was smoking a J backstage before he went on. Eminem was out there. Dr. Dre.
Was it Dr. Dre? Yeah.
So good.
That was a good one.
Who was Riri was out there? Wasn't Rihanna out there too with him? No?
No, she did her own Super Bowl halftime show.
When she was pregnant.
When she was pregnant, I think the next year, actually.
So,
I think it was the very next Super Bowl.
Yeah. Shout out Riri. Anyway. What?
I was going to say, was it Alicia Keys, but she was with Usher.
That might have been all of them. Or you know what you could do?
We'll Google it. Yeah.
You know what you could do, Muse? I heard of this thing. It's almost like magic. You get on a keyboard and you type in a question, and this thing will give you the answer to anything in the world you want to know. It's called Google. Crazy. It's spelled Google. I'll give it to you again slowly. Google. Google is how they say it. You just type in there, who was part of that halftime show in LA, and it'll tell you instantly. Your mic's not on.
That was 2022, right?
Or why don't you just type in Los Angeles halftime show?
Oh, I got it. Here it is. Yeah. Mary J. Blige is who it was with them. Yes.
Mary J. Mary's back.
Yes.
There we go. Should ask Paulie. He would have known.
Paul would have known. Paul would have known right off the top of his head.
Paul, did you know that?
No, I forgot. Mary J. Blige was there.
Mm.
All the low riding bass booming S10s in Central. They're disappointed in you right now, Paul.
Sorry, I let you down.
Do better. Although I do love the big fleur-de-lis on your back glass, not going to lie. NGL. People think we're joking about that. That's an actual thing.
That happens.
Paulie has a gray truck with a big fleur-de-lis on the back glass, and he booms. He booms. What's on? If we get in your truck right now, Paulie, and turn on the music, what are we hearing?
Connor Price.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know who that is either.
Who is that, Paulie?
He's a rapper.
No kidding. See?
What's his name? Connor Price?
Connor Price.
He sounds like a country singer.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like like he's got a lot of edge there.
I would think so, yeah.
Pull up some Connor Price.
All right.
Muse. Let's hear Connor Price.
Paul, do I need to find edited versions of this?
No, he doesn't curse.
Oh.
He doesn't have edge.
Oh, he has no edge. His name is Connor Price. But wait, respect to Connor Price. You do you. Back to the point at hand, which is that New Orleans has apparently missed this deadline to bid on the Super Bowl for 2031. And that is a bummer. And the one thing that we always have to be mindful of is if excuse me, if a team, a franchise, a city builds a new stadium, they are automatically in the queue for a Super Bowl no matter where they are. Like, as absurd as it is to have a Super Bowl in Detroit or Minnesota or other cold weather environments, like when those cities built new stadiums, they got a Super Bowl. Indianapolis, although some people will laud Indianapolis because it's a walkable downtown, more comparable to New Orleans. New York City hosted a Super Bowl at MetLife. I think we all agree like it should just rotate. Miami, New Orleans, LA, Vegas, like just rotate those and it'd be good to go. But in any event, the Saints and state officials not getting this deal done means that the team is not extended its Superdome lease beyond 2030. Means the Saints could not negotiate a bid. They could not submit a bid for that 2031 Super Bowl. So you'll put it off another year apparently, unless if something else happens. Now, Jeff Duncan did tweet a bit ago that. To be clear, it's not on the city of New Orleans officials. The deadline was missed because the state and the Saints haven't finalized a new long-term lease. The NFL can't play Super Bowl in a city if they don't know if it'll have an NFL team. And as he notes, the Saints' current lease expires in 2030. So that's the whole point that we're getting at here. So we're all anticipating that the extended lease will happen with the team and the state investing $500 million into renovations of that building. Clearly, this is going to happen. The team is going to stay in New Orleans, and ownership currently with Mrs. Benson, that's her ambition, is to make sure the Saints and the Pelicans stay in New Orleans in perpetuity. But this is disappointing. There's no other way around it. So they'll put it off at least another year till they can bid on a Super Bowl to come back to New Orleans. And then the other thing to keep in mind too, which I don't know in front of me, but is the future calendar. Remember, the Super Bowl sometimes overlaps with the Mardi Gras calendar, and you can't have Super Bowl coinciding with Mardi Gras. So it would have to be a time where that would make sense based on the calendar. So we'll see what the next year that might make the most sense for New Orleans to host would be, and when they submit that bid, but it won't be in 2031. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by Parrish Construction and Roofing. By the way, I was told yesterday as I was walking out of studio by one Paul O'Neill that Parrish Construction and Roofing was at the O'Neill household yesterday replacing. Let's give Paulie a round of applause there. How about it? You can give yourself a round of applause, too. Paulie, how did we do?
You did good.
Thank you.
Got a new roof.
Is it beautiful?
It is gorgeous.
Was our crew respectful and friendly?
Well, the short time I was there, yes.
Did we clean up after ourselves?
You did.
We did. Glad to hear that.
You didn't, but your crew did.
Were you satisfied with Spencer, who was the rep who worked with you? Were you satisfied with Spencer?
Very satisfied.
Spencer's great. We didn't leave any nails in the driveway or anything?
Not that I have found.
Love that. What about shingles in the garden or anything like that? Nope. Did the roof work?
I believe so, yeah.
No sunlight coming through?
Nope, no sunlight.
No raindrops coming through?
No raindrops.
No birds flying in?
No birds.
Love that.
Hadn't seen any birds.
It's that simple. Do you like Paul O'Neill did? Call Parrish Construction and Roofing. ParrishBuilt.com. ParrishBuilt.com is the website. You can call us 364-1007, 364-1007, 364-1007. Look, I'm proud to be a partner in Parrish Construction and Roofing. And I know my role. I will never be on your roof, Paulie, I promise. You do not want me up there. My job is to make you aware that we exist, make the phones ring, but we've hired great people throughout our entire organization to make sure that, look, most of us might replace a roof. Was that the first time you've ever gone through a roof replacement, Paulie?
Me, yes.
Yeah. I mean, for most of us, once, maybe twice in our life, will we go through a roof replacement. So it's just not something we do commonly. So the process is unfamiliar. We take a lot of pride in educating to make sure that you're aware of the process throughout and you're comfortable with the whole thing. And another thing we talk about too, man, is you got to know your insurance policy. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I'll wait till a storm comes. A lot of times your named storm deductible is higher than your wind hail deductible. Let us work with you on that. It's Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Residential and commercial, do any type of commercial job. We just recently finished a few commercial jobs with Our Lady of the Lake. They're on their campus. So we'd love to help you out as well. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know, Parish Construction and Roofing. All right, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here on this Thursday edition of AFR. We'll get to what to watch here after the break. Lee Sterling in 15 minutes from right now. We'll get Lee's best bets for the upcoming weekend. Mike Triplett will be here in hour 3. Still waiting on the Saints injury report to be released. We do know the attendance. Chase Young, Dylan Radins, Tale Asafuaga did not practice for the New Orleans Saints today. Definitely calls into question whether or not they'll be available for Sunday, but wait for the official injury report to see what may come of that. All right, it's After Further Review. We'll continue next.
After Further Review.
I was over at Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness earlier today. If you're watching, I got a Band-Aid here on my arm. It's because I had my blood lab. So about every 4 to 6 months, if you're on hormone replacement therapy, which I am, you want to do your blood labs to make sure that everything, your testosterone levels are good, your estrogen levels are good, that everything is trending and tracking as it should. And by the way, for whatever this may matter for some of you and may not, if you are on HRT, when you go every 4 to 6 months to get your blood drawn, most clinics charge you for that. At Goodwood, they don't. They pick up the expense of running your blood labs. That savings alone is a reason to switch from whatever clinic you may be with right now and go to Goodwood. They can have your medicine shipped to your door, lowest prices, never any contracts, and they're super friendly. It's Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana Propane. And when you need hot water, Propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
Join us for Friday's AFR live from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Sagamore Spirit Rye. We'll have craft cocktails, someone's winning tickets to the game, and of course a fine premium cigar. Friday's AFR, presented by Sagamore Spirit.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app.
After Further Review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
If you're trying to gear up for game day, call Decision Critical. Their concierge nursing service will come to you for that game day prep IV. You want IV hydration. Maybe you're feeling under the weather. Stay hydrated at a cellular level. They can come to you, your home, your office at any time. Give them a couple hours. They'll be there. So, look, it's Thursday. Get that IV on Friday. You want a pre-game. But you know you're going to have a long day on Saturday. Bad food, some adult beverages, a late night, all that sort of stuff. Make sure you pre-hydrate. Decision Critical Concierge Nursing, their IV service is available for you. Just go to decisioncriticalbr.com, decisioncriticalbr.com to schedule today. Okay, every week, Muse, Paulie, and I, before the football weekend kicks off, we tell you 3 things we're keeping an eye on. We call it What to Watch. Let's do it.
Here's what we're watching this football weekend.
All right, we'll get it started with Matthew Durante Musso.
That's not it. But I will go ahead and get it started. What the heck happened there? Oh, there we go.
I don't know. I'm not the one with my fingers on the switchboard and the sliders over there.
Anyway, we'll start with
Sitting
big
over
noon.
here, literally 15 feet from it.
We're going to start with big noon kickoff. Texas Tech, Utah. Here we go. Ranked matchup in Rice-Eccles.
Okay.
Mainly, Texas Tech. What you got? You for real? You went and spent a bunch of money in the portal. You have played nobody with a pulse.
Nobody.
2-7 is the combined record of their opponents.
Nobody.
And they've beaten the hell out of all of them.
All of them.
Now you go into Rice-Eccles. Are you real? We'll see. Interesting, the line, 3.5. I would expect
Mm-hmm.
Utah at home be favored by a little bit more. Maybe that's a little bit of a stinky line. We'll see.
Okay. Paulie.
I'm going to watch Tulane and Ole Miss.
Me too.
Tulane is looking for a statement win for their case as a playoff contender. The Ole Miss defense has not looked great to start the season, so expect some points to be scored in this one. Ole Miss quarterback Austin Simmons did not start last week against Arkansas. Will he play this week? And, of course, LSU will head Oxford next week.
Mincy texted me. He's all high on Chambliss starting this week.
Okay.
I'm like, you played Arkansas, man. Like, whatever. Don't be that line keeps going up to me. It's at 13. It was 11.5. It's 13.5. Don't Tulane, bro. I think Tulane's a live dog on the road. Tonight, Miami-Buffalo Thursday Night Football. I only bring this up because Buffalo's a double-digit favorite, which is rare in the NFL. It's 10.5 right now. If this goes really badly on a Thursday night, could this be the end for Mike McDaniel? He is the betting favorite to be the first coach fired. It has been Miami is 0-2. They're awful. This could be a point in the season with a long week after Thursday night to do it. So if this goes very badly tonight for Miami in Buffalo, it could be the last game Mike McDaniel coaches in Miami.
I'm going to go back to college football. Michigan and Nebraska. In the same way I'm looking at Texas Tech, I'm looking at Nebraska. So, Scone, when you were out, it was during Big Ten Media Days. I had Adam Rittenberg on to cover the event and let us know. He said one of the big topics was people were high on Nebraska. Their schedule was favorable. They get this at home. This is their biggest test yet. Let's see if they can get it done behind Dylan Raiola and Matt Rule. Year 3 of Matt Rule, normally pretty successful.
Right, Bryce Underwood on the road.
Bryce Underwood on the road again. Yeah. In a tough place, man.
Yeah. Paulie.
I'm going to watch Bengals and Vikings.
No, you're not.
So this one will be a battle of the backup quarterbacks.
You ain't watching
Jake
that?
Browning, Carson Wentz.
Stop lying.
So I'm really going to be watching for Jamar Chase versus Justin Jefferson.
Okay, that's fair. That's maybe a better reason to watch it.
But so the Vikings are actually going to be without Aaron Jones in the backfield as well. He landed on IR this week. The Bengals are looking to go 3-0 and keep their lead in the AFC North.
Yeah, they are. It's my Super Bowl pick. I need Jake Browning to keep this thing on the go. You can hit it. Chicago against Dallas.
Oh,
hold on. Chicago, despite being 0-2, is a 1-point favorite in this game. Ben Johnson could become the next of the first-year head coaches to get his first win. There are presently 3 that have not gotten a win. It's Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn, the 2 coaches that the Saints wanted, and then the guy the Saints got, Ellen Moore. Could Ben Johnson get his first win? It's favored against the Cowboys.
Texans, Jags, divisional round. The two teams that you look at go, man, they could, be the leader. Texans have fallen on hard times. 0-2 start. Not many saw that coming. Jacksonville, they're a slight favorite. Also, Texans, short week, having to travel. Keep an eye on that one.
Keep an eye on it.
I want to dig an 0-3 hole, man.
Let's go.
Call it. The Cardinals versus the Niners. So the NFC West is the only team with the only division with 3 teams still 2-0. The Cardinals, Niners, and Rams. Have the Cardinals finally turned the corner under Kyler Murray?
Nah.
We'll see.
Maybe. If you told me the entire slate of college football this weekend and you could only watch one game, it's not going to be LSU Southeastern. If I could only watch one, it would be Auburn, Oklahoma. Oklahoma flat stole one on the Plains last year. Remember, Auburn was cruising to a win. They had the late pick 6 at the end of that game, and now Jackson Arnold is the quarterback at Auburn. So that was Peyton Thorne who threw the pick 6 late. Oklahoma steals a win. Now Jackson Arnold going back to Norman. You got a couple of undefeated teams here. Auburn's ranked again. Oklahoma's 11th in the country. This is certainly going to be, I believe, the stiffest test so far. All respect to Michigan, but not really. For Oklahoma, we're going to start to feel if they are real, if John Mateer is real, if Oklahoma is actually a contending team when they get into the meat of their SEC schedule. It's 2:30 ABC, and this is an Oklahoma team that my thought on them before the year was I think they'll be better. I just don't think their win-loss record is going to be reflective because it is such a brutal schedule where they had Michigan, Auburn, Texas, at South Carolina, Ole Miss, at Tennessee, at Alabama, Missouri, LSU. It's a brutal slate. This is sort of the start of that in-conference play. So they do get Kent State next, but this is going to be a fascinating one with Auburn and Oklahoma in Norman, 2:30 on ABC, the game of the weekend in college football, even though game day is at Miami and Florida. Like, why?
Yeah, that's horrible.
Maybe,
that's awful.
A farewell to Sunbelt Billy, maybe?
I guess.
Whatever. Have they fired Jabbar Jalouk yet, by the way?
Not,
yeah.
no.
I don't guess they're going to. I wish everybody, thank you, you can kill the music. I wish everybody would go retweet, share on social, put pressure on Florida. It's, I can't. There's some clown show high school coach in New Orleans who got up in my mentions and was like, it was insulting me for suggesting. He's like, these are grown men. What are you talking about? Like, yeah. How about this? Why don't you go Friday night? Why don't you go to the opposing sideline and slap a kid on camera and see how that goes? Idiots. Like I get it. There's high school coaches in New Orleans that are defending Jalouk because he's that's like there's a culture in high school football in New Orleans where it is like a fraternity, and I understand that. But right is right and wrong is wrong. And if you can't acknowledge that, then you're not serving the people that you're hired to serve, which are the young people. And that's ridiculous. It is absolutely absurd. I'll say it again. I know I yelled about it yesterday, but shame on the SEC, shame on the University of Florida for continuing to employ Jabbar Jalouk. He should have been fired immediately after he slapped Joel Rogers in the face. And the fact that there are some people actually trying to justify that behavior is disgusting. Don't get me started again. All right, it's after further review. Lee Sterling's going to join us next. He'll give us his best bets for this weekend in college and the NFL. It's AFR.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 30 years. Get Gordon and get it done. As a matter of fact, went and had lunch today at Court to Table. Gordon, one of the investors in Court to Table, had their smash burger. It was fantastic. Try to get something new on the menu every time I go. So you need a great place to go for game day on or around game day. Court to Table is a great spot to take the kids. And if you need an attorney, if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault, get Gordon and get it done. Gordon's got offices in every corner of the state. So it doesn't matter where you are listening or watching. They have attorneys in every corner of the state, part of Gordon's team, that can help represent you and get you what you are entitled to get you back to normalcy in your life. So go to getgordon.com, getgordon.com, or call the 888-8888, 888-8888 for Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Remember, we're counting down the days, only about 3 more days to enter for the Billboard Design Competition. Get more info at the website. Get Gordon and get it done.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Family owned and community driven.
Service Chevrolet Cadillac, a legacy you can trust since 1972. Service Chevrolet Cadillac, our family serving your family.
For over 50 years.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Place your bets, gentlemen.
It's time to head to the window.
Don't gamble it all in one place.
This is Lee Sterling's Best Bets, brought to you by Paramount Sports.
4-1 last week. Let's keep it going. Lee, how are you?
I'm good. I wanted to pose this to you because I think you've got a pretty good eye for what's going on. Who would you say right now are the most deserving top three quarterbacks if you were voting for the Heisman?
On the season, John Mateer would certainly be at or near the top of my list.
He's number one for me.
I'd probably say Tommy Castellanos as well from Florida State, and I'd probably throw Carson Beck from Miami in there if I'm just looking at the quarterbacks.
Right. How about Marcel Reed?
Yeah, they just haven't. Yeah, okay. They won this week at Notre Dame, and that was an impressive win. Prior to that, you play somebody with a pulse. I'm not really sure how good Notre Dame is, but yeah, that's fair. I could put Reed in there instead of Castellanos.
Yeah. I think they're interchangeable. So we're thinking along the same way. Isn't it crazy? Beginning of the year, 5 or 6 different names as the top three quarterbacks, right?
Yeah. I mean, Lenore Sellers has certainly plummeted. And actually, the first game on the docket that you have, and we're assuming Sellers is going to play, but Mizzou is an 11-point home favorite. How do you factor in the Sellers factor when you're handicapping this one, Lee?
Well, he did practice today, so I just got word that he was a go. But even with him in there, I mean, 14.5 points per game, I'm not impressed. So even if something happens to him, his backup is Duddy. He's probably a third stringer on most teams. He doesn't push the ball down the field at all. I think if you were sitting in a Penn State room and you asked them honestly, all the offensive coaches, would they take Drew or would they take Bo Previlla?
Oh.
I think they go with Bo.
At this point, knowing what you know, yeah.
Yeah. So I think they've got weapons galore, and I think they're better than last year's offense. I like Missouri here, 34-16.
All right, big for Mizzou. I don't disagree. Arkansas, a little bit of a, I don't know if you call it a breather, but they step out of conference after losing at Ole Miss. They play Memphis, that high-flying Arkansas offense. You rolling with the Hogs, a touchdown favorite?
You know, at first I thought yes, and I'm watching the tape of Memphis. Their defense is really good. At least I don't know what it was that got into them last week. They were playing at a level I hadn't seen in a long time. I mean, Troy's not much offensively, but they knocked their quarterback out by the end of the first quarter and did a number on the backup. They allowed just 112 total yards. The question is, can they play up to that level again? Obviously, we know that the Arkansas quarterback special. Once in a while, he has a couple bad games, throws a couple interceptions, or fumbles the ball. I think Memphis, with this different offense where they run more quarterback runs, I think they can hang in this game. This is a tough game, but I think Arkansas wins at like 31-27. I'm taking the points.
Okay. If I could watch one game the entire weekend, it would be Oklahoma-Auburn. Like if it said you could only watch one, I think there's so much intrigue. It's fascinating to see what we're going to learn about these two teams if they're actually contenders. The line I'm looking at here, let's see, I know you're looking at 6.5 with the Sooners at home.
Yesterday. Yeah, 6.5. And
actually, DraftKings has it right now at 7, Lee. So, I mean, that hook is important there, yeah.
Yeah, if you like the side I like in Oklahoma, you better get on it now. So I think the fact that Arnold has to go back and play against his old head coach is tough. And also you got Brent Venables just calling the plays. So he has to know inside and out. I've seen coaches. I played quarterback. My head coach in high school and college knew me inside and out. They knew my strengths, my weaknesses. They know the coverages I have trouble with. So I think the advantage is for Brent Venables. He's going to come up with a game plan and make it tough on him. The game is in Norman. If it was in Auburn, I think differently. If you don't think John Mateer is good, pop in a tape of last year's game against Washington. He willed his team with almost no talent around him to a win. Also, how much of a difference is that one kid makes? Well, they played North Texas last week, his old team. They were losing 42-0 at that half. He is that good, running, throwing. I don't know what kind of pro he's going to be, but the kid's a leader. They love him. I like Oklahoma here, 34-24. And another thing I noticed in the Auburn game when they played Baylor, a lot of their big plays were off broken plays. So I don't know if they're going to be able to do that against Oklahoma.
Lee Sterling's with us, ParamountSports.com, ParamountSports.com. I'll tell you more in just a quick second. I'm fascinated by this one, too, and we're seeing a lot of line movement here, Lee. Tulane's at Ole Miss. This was 11.5. It's up to 13.5 now. Am I crazy for liking Tulane and the points on the road against that Ole Miss defense?
Probably. I mean, the quarterback, Jake Retzlaff, he's good. He's, maybe not as good as a couple quarterbacks they faced in the last couple of years, but the kid's gutsy. I don't think he's any talent to take to the next level, but college quarterbacks, he's up there. I can't play this game, but with a gun to my head, I'll go with Ole Miss. Whoever quarterbacks, Trinidad Chambliss. I'm hearing a story. Did you hear that they found his tape? They were just looking for a backup?
No.
Is that a true story?
No, I didn't know that.
Usually there's a connection, whether he knows the offensive coordinator, he knows someone on the team. I think they were just looking through tapes, and they found him, and they reached out. We'll find out if that's true. Toughest game on the board, Ole Miss 42-28. They cover by half point.
Okay. Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. You got one in the NFL. You want to dice up here? Seahawks, Saints. That line is north of a touchdown now, 7.5 Seattle. Saints still searching for a win. Tough place to try to get it. What do you think?
I'm going to give you a team total here. Under 17.5 points for the Saints. I think the Seahawks defense is special. Weatherspoon's coming back, their top player, cornerback. And I think Saints are just going through the motions. They want that first or second pick. So under 17.5 in some real tough conditions. That's a tough place to play for an offense that's not great. So under 17.5 New Orleans Saints team total.
I love that play. It's gonna be really tough for the Saints, especially with that defensive line from Seattle. Lee, what we got over at ParamountSports.com?
So this is the promotion I probably get more calls, texts, and emails. Called the Baker's Dozen. We had it once last year. It's 13 games, combined college and pro, just $97. And why do I get so many calls, emails, and texts? It's just $97. It's an instant download. You don't need to call me back Saturday and Sunday, and you're ready to go. And what we do is we've had some 12-1, 11-2, and 10-3 records on this promotion. So if you've never been with me before, you want to try us out, just one place, ParamountSports.com.
ParamountSports.com, $97 for the Baker's dozen. You can get it this weekend. ParamountSports.com, ParamountSports.com. He is Lee Sterling. Thank you, Lee. We'll do it again next week.
Okay, thanks, Matt.
It's our pleasure. We're brought to you by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, LMFJ.com, LMFJ.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. When you have the purchasing power, when you're buying for 10 stores, you get a great selection and you can offer great price. Hey, look, if Lee Michaels, from Lee Sterling to Lee Michaels, if Lee Michaels, how about that, doesn't have what you want, they'll find it. If they can't find it, they'll make it. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. 4 decades in the business. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry.
AFR.
All right, y'all, we're putting a button here on hour number 2. We do have Mike Triplett coming up a little more than half an hour from right now. We are brought to you by Parish Restoration. Always my pleasure to tell you about our friends at Parish Restoration. Listen, the bottom line is when you live in Louisiana, you understand this. We're the mold capital of the world. Why? Because it's wet, it's humid. So it's the breeding ground for mold. If you have mold or think you might, parishrestoration.com. Parishrestoration.com. So they'll come in. They have a patented, non-toxic dry fog. So think about what I just said. Patented, no one else is using this. Non-toxic, safe for your pets, your plants, your family. And it's a dry fog. So when they come in fog, you don't have to remove furniture. You don't have to pull up carpet. You're not worried about getting your sheetrock wet. It's a patented non-toxic dry fog. It is a more effective, more efficient, more cost-effective treatment. It's Parish Restoration. Go to parishrestoration.com. That's parishrestoration.com.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier. Dos Equis.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Parish Construction and Roofing. This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs. From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Join us for Friday's AFR live from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Sagamore Spirit Rye. We'll have craft cocktails, someone's winning tickets to the game, and of course a fine premium cigar. Friday's AFR, presented by Sagamore Spirit.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
While Louisiana politics can seem like they're from another planet, Moon Griffon isn't afraid to bring politicians back down to earth. Listen to the Moon Griffon Show weekday mornings at 9 on Talk 107.3.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. and we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Mornings with Brian Haldane is the only live and local talk show in the capital city. Get the news from the newsmakers, along with traffic and weather updates throughout the morning. The conversation starts weekday mornings at 6 on Talk 107.3.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. Clayton Kershaw calling it a career. Future Hall of Famer announcing he will retire at the end of the season. 11-time All-Star, spent 18 years with the Dodgers. His 222 victories, second only to Don Sutton. In franchise history, became the 20th pitcher in baseball history to reach 3,000 career strikeouts. His 2.54 ERA, the lowest of any pitcher in the live ball era since 1920. He'll be Hall of Fame eligible in 2031. Dodgers with a chance to extend their NL West lead tonight against the Giants. Padres falling 2.5 games behind LA with a 6-1 rubber game loss to the Mets this afternoon. Pete Alonso with a solo homer, his 37th of the season. Brandon Nimmo going deep as well. New York now 2 up on the D-backs for the final NL wild card. In the NFL, Packers tight end Tucker Kraft dealing with a knee injury he suffered in practice today, was added to the injury report, undergoing tests to determine severity. Packers are optimistic it's not a long-term injury.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, we offer auto, home, and commercial auto insurance, plus a variety of business insurance options to cover your small business needs and more. Visit Progressive.com today.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from downtown Baton Rouge.
Let's rock!
Hour 3 off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Decision Critical, Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
You sir. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. It's 5 o'clock, quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. Got to say, I'm as comfortable as I've been maybe ever in this studio. I did, in fact, get a new chair. Shout out to our GOAT operations manager, Michelle Southern. We've rolled through several different options here for new chairs. Not just in the last week or so, but in the last 7 years.
Yeah.
Actually, in the last 15 years, for as long as I've worked here. Gordy used it as a bit for a long time, just seeing how many awful chairs he could bring into the studio to piss me off.
It's a good bit. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. It's pretty good.
It's a long-standing bit.
Yeah.
But, and this is a tall desk as well, so it's hard to find a chair that is high enough to where if you're watching, it's not just like a disembodied head above the laptop like you on game day.
Not anymore. Used to be. Come on now.
The first time I shot you that note, I was like, dog, look, check this out.
And then after that, it was fixed. It has been forever. It took one time.
That was so funny. And then Gordy this weekend.
Yeah, we got to do something about that, too.
You were towering over him. I'm like, that ain't right.
No.
That ain't right.
No. I don't tower over anybody.
No. But anyway, very comfy chair. I'm sitting back. I never sit back in the chair because the chairs we have always just compress down when you sit in them. And so I'm sitting comfortably in this chair. It's tall enough. I'm leaning back, have my leg crossed. Very, very comfortable. Maybe I'll yell less, Muse. If I'm comfortable, maybe I don't have any reason.
No, you'll find something else to yell about.
Maybe.
No,
Can you just let me have this moment? Can you just let me have this moment?
Well, I'm just being honest.
Can you just let me enjoy this one blissful moment?
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. You just got to ruin it all the time. That's what you do. You're a time ruiner, is what you are.
That's
You're a
not
Debbie
true
You're
at
a
all.
Debbie Downer, is what
No,
you are.
I'm not. I love that sketch so much.
Debbie Downer. All right. Wait, I think did Brian Kelly meet with reporters right now? I want to get to the Saints injury report. Hunt just texted. Maybe LSU finished practice early. Please look. Let's see if we can find this.
What are we looking for?
For Brian Kelly.
Okay, yeah, no. 1 minute. I see tweets like 1 minute ago, so I guess he just started.
So he's meeting early. It's normally like 5:45 that he's meeting with, right?
I mean, I could look at the schedule they sent out and see what time it was supposed to be.
Okay, here you go. Trades Green practiced today, caught passes, but questionable. West Weeks doubtful for Saturday. And by the way, that is the right decision. If you are limited and risking further injury, there is no reason to risk further injury against FCS Southeastern Louisiana. Get your guys healthy. So naturally, people will ask, well, then what about Garrett Nussmeier? And the point is, Brian Kelly told us yesterday, if he's to be believed, that Nussmeier's on the other side of it. And he's played fine, remained healthy for 3 games. There's no reason to sit him if he's good enough to play. And quite honestly, I think you need the reps and you need some good vibes. You need some get right in this offense. So go get it this weekend. All right, it's after further review. Let me get to the Saints injury report here. We're brought to you by Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU Athletics. Naturally, that works out pretty well considering we're talking about some of the LSU injuries, and it is sort of the doctors, the trainers, the physicians that care for the LSU athletes are part of the championship health partnership of LSU Athletics with Our Lady of the Lake. Whether it be high-performing athletes at LSU, the students at LSU, they're at the Student Health Center, Our Lady of the Lake physicians are caring for those championship athletes, students, and everyday champions like you and me. Of course, I love telling you about the Children's Hospital. We've done so much over the years, and it's when I was in high school. I remember in Key Club, we had a weekly service project where we would volunteer at the Ronald McDonald Playroom at the Our Lady of the Lake Children's Hospital. That was at the Regional Medical Center on Essen. And for years, went through the whole fundraising process of watching the standalone children's hospital from concept to fundraising to groundbreaking to build to now opening and taking my son there. Actually, this past Monday we were there. If it's pediatrics, if it's sports medicine, if it's cancer services, if it's heart, stroke patients, Our Lady of the Lake does it all. Part of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System, a multi-state health system with standalone hospitals and clinics and like Lake After Hours for the emergency clinics. They do it all. It's a championship health partnership with LSU Athletics, Our Lady of the Lake, and LSU. Together, we roar. So the New Orleans Saints and the Seattle Seahawks have issued their injury report here for Thursday. So here's the updated injury report. Dylan Radins did not practice again. He is officially out. So the Saints will be down their starting left tackle for the first 2 weeks. Now, the flip side of that is that Trevor Penning, once again, was limited. So he's been out there now for 2 days of practice, but that would tell you he's trending toward playing, the fact that he has been on the practice field. The Saints are leaving tonight, Thursday night, for Seattle. They'll practice Friday in Seattle in the Pacific Northwest. They'll have their walkthrough Saturday, play Sunday. So they wanted to get there early to acclimate to the time change, so all good. That's what they'll do. They're leaving today. Here's the disappointing news. You had 4 players that did not practice. Trey Palmer was downgraded from limited to a DNP. Taliese Fuaga for the second consecutive day did not practice. As we mentioned, Dylan Radins did not practice. He's out. And for the second consecutive day, Chase Young did not practice. So now you're looking at, for Chase Young, the possibility of missing the first 3 games of the season. And that is massively disappointing because the Saints have chosen not to put him on short-term IR. Remember, you can only use that designation on 8 players throughout the season, where you can put them on IR with the opportunity to return later in the season. They have to miss 4 weeks. But that's where I wonder, was the medical staff on top of this? Was Chase Young forthcoming? He was very adamant that this wasn't going to be a long-term thing. If you remember, it even seemed like initially that game week of week 1 against Arizona, like there was a chance he might try to play that week. Well, now he's missed 2 games, and it's looking like he's going to miss a third. So, did you miss an opportunity to bring up another player to your active roster in place of Chase Young if you would have put him on IR, the short-term IR? But we'll wait and see if he's able to play next week against Buffalo. But not practicing at all with that calf injury is a little bit of a concern now that you're going on 3 weeks without any practice time at all. The new addition to the practice report, or the injury report for New Orleans, is Devon Vele. So Vele apparently popped up with a hip injury. He's got a hip, does Devon Vele. Not a toe. That's something completely different. The hip and the toe aren't the same thing. They're different.
No, they are different. I mean, they're connected in a way on the leg, but different.
Yeah, kind of. Is the hip the leg?
The leg connects to the hip. You remember the song? The hip bones connected to the leg bone.
Is that the song?
Yeah.
The hip bone connects to the leg bone?
Yeah, of course. The femur.
Well, in that case, then you could say, well, like, everything, like your torso is the leg because everything's connected.
Which your torso is the torso, connects to the top of the hip bone.
Let's not get sideways here. He's got a hip.
Vele. Vele's got the hip.
Vele's got the hip.
Okay.
Not the toe. That's Dylan Radins, who's got a toe.
And Trevor Penny.
But his toe is getting better.
It is.
He still has a toe.
Didn't lose it.
But it's not quite as significant as Radins' toe, because Radins' toe has him out.
Already, on Thursday.
Yeah. Penning has been out with a toe, but now he's practicing with the toe and could play despite the toe. But he's still got a toe.
He's got a toe.
Penning. Penning, yes. And Radins, both with a toe. For Seattle, their injury list is long and decorated. Zach Charbonnet, they have not issued Thursday yet because they practice later, but on Wednesday, running back Zach Charbonnet, safety Nick Emenwari, safety Julian Love, and cornerback Devon Witherspoon, all DNPs. Linebacker Derek Hall, wide receiver Torrey Horton, cornerback Josh Jobe, linebacker Ernest Jones, tackle Abraham Lucas, all limited. So Seattle really fighting it right now on their injury report. Again, waiting on Thursday's designations. The Saints practicing in the Central Time Zone obviously released theirs earlier than did Seattle, so we're waiting on Seattle's. But Seattle a little banged up. We'll see who's going to be able to go on Sunday there in the Pacific Northwest. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. Thursday shows are brought to you by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing in Baton Rouge. You know, maybe you or a loved one has received a really tough diagnosis. You know, maybe it's a critical or even a terminal illness. Maybe hospice is something that's an option for you right now, or someone in your family. You can trust Decision Critical. They only employ the best nurses. As a matter of fact, Blasia has a waiting list. You told me last week of 50 nurses waiting to come to work at Decision Critical. Blasia hand selects every single nurse, so you can trust the quality, the level of care, comfort, service that's coming into your home, with you at the hospital, short-term care, whatever it may be, from Decision Critical. Concierge Nursing. It's not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. Schedule that discovery call today at decisioncriticalbr.com. Decisioncriticalbr.com. Might need to change the website soon because they service more than just Baton Rouge. But check them out at decisioncriticalbr.com. All right, y'all, it's after further review. We're glad you are hanging out with us here. Mike Triplett in 18 minutes from right now, straight up at the bottom of the hour from DOLA.com, the Times-Picayune. Looking forward to talking to Mike about these New Orleans Saints. You know, could they maybe go on the road and get a first win here? What's he seeing? Some of the injuries, how they'll hammer out the offensive line. We'll talk about all that with Mike Triplett coming up here in a little more than 15 minutes from right now. Let me knock out a quick break. When we come back, we'll dive into what Brian Kelly is meeting with reporters right now. Anything notable from BK. Also, the SEC is close to unveiling their football schedule for 2026, at least the opponents. We'll tell you what we know when we come back on AFR.
AFR.
Glow Resources, they are complete employer solutions. And what I love, there's many things I love about Glow Resources, but one of the things I love most is that they judge themselves based on how long their hand-selected employees stay with your company. That's how they judge their success as a business. And at Glow Resources, they have a 96% success rate. 9.6 out of 10 times, the employee they hire for your business sticks. This isn't temp staffing. These are permanent solutions for your business. You need skilled blue-collar labor. You need any office job from an office manager to C-level management. They've got you covered at Glow Resources. And if for whatever reason it doesn't work out, they offer you a prorated refund, or they'll find you another employee free of charge. What do you have to lose? GLO, glowresources.com.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
When it comes to pipe fabrication, time is money. And at River Parish Contractors, we make every second count. Our 36,000 square foot shop is ready to take on your projects right now. With experienced welders, precise fittings, and fast turnarounds you can trust. Whether it's a single custom spool or a full-scale run, we have the capacity and the skill to keep your job on schedule. Call us or visit rpcontractors.com for your quote. That's rpcontractors.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Baton Rouge's home for real rock. It's Eagle 98.1. Foo Fighters. Led Zeppelin. AC/DC. Pearl Jam. And the flagship home for LSU sports. Take us anywhere with the Eagle 98.1 app. Eagle 98.1 is the rock station.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Brian Kelly is meeting with reporters as we speak over at LSU after this Thursday practice for the Tigers as they prepare for Southeastern Louisiana. I'm scrolling this on Twitter. Obviously, I'm not there, and I'm not watching the press conference live. I'm scrolling on Twitter. I'm looking at Scott Rabalay's Twitter feed as he kind of has a running feed here of Brian Kelly's comments with respect to Garrett Nussmeier playing this weekend. But the same thing that Kelly said on the SEC coaches teleconference a day ago, saying Nussmeier's feeling good, that they had to limit a lot of things for 3 to 4 weeks, and notes that this has been Nussmeier's best week of practice. Says to hold him back at this point would not be the right thing for Nussmeier, and that Nussmeier's excited to play. So that sort of confirms what Kelly had said a day ago on the SEC coaches teleconference, and they are that they will allow Nussmeier to play this week, which, I don't know any other way really to say this than the way I've said it since Monday, in the sense that the torso is something that they've mentioned. It is literally a thing because they've mentioned it, limited, whatever. But he was not listed on the injury report, and he's played in 3 games. And to that end, it feels like it's not a big deal. In the same way that the patella tendonitis that Nussmeier had, that everyone tried to make a big deal out of. He's wearing a sleeve on his knee. Like, yes, in a literal sense, it's a thing. I mean, he's got a sleeve on his knee, and he had some pain and discomfort or whatever. But, like, it's not like there's nobody that plays a football season without pain or some limitation. It's just there's not anyone that plays completely free of pain or injury or discomfort or some type of limiting factor. You just play through it. And I don't know any other way to say it. I'm struggling to find a way. I know everyone's looked at LSU's offense and the struggles that they've had, which we've talked about here, and that's an objective truth. There is no argument to the contrary. This has not been a productive offense. I'm not trying to suggest anything to the contrary. All of the numbers bear that out through 3 weeks. This has not been a productive offense. So the question everyone wants to ask is why, and the natural path is to say, oh, well, it's this Nussmeier torso thing, and I just don't believe that's the case. I mean, Nussmeier is still throwing for over 200 yards a game. They're not stretching the field, obviously, but really what you've done and Brian Kelly's shown you is they are still making a commitment to being balanced on offense, run, pass. And I think the bigger thing is this offensive line coming together, and I know they did not give up a sack against Florida, but we've gone through the numbers as well, where, you know, the majority of the passes were at or near the line of scrimmage within 10 yards, or even 6 passes behind the line of scrimmage. I think part of that is, as Brian Kelly has said, they realized the challenge they had against Clemson and Florida. They had 5 new starters on the offensive line, and they're working to allow those guys to continue to develop. I think that has been more of why they've focused the game plan the way they have than Nussmeier's torso. I know that's not the headline that pops that everybody wants to discuss. An injury to the quarterback would be the headline that pops that everyone wants to discuss. I just don't think that's the case. I think it's pretty obvious some of the struggles you've had in the run game. Some of it can be scheme, some of it can be technical ability of the offensive line that has to get better. But I think it's just very obvious there's been a very concerted effort against 2 really good opponents to not put yourself in harm's way and to win those games with defense and special teams and field position and possessing the football and moving the chains. And it's not been a highlight reel offensively, but I still think that ability exists within this offense. Clearly it does. I mean, we saw Garrett Nussmeier throw for 4,000 yards a year ago. If they wanted to throw the ball in 60% of their snaps through 3 games, Garrett Nussmeier's passing totals would be higher. But would you have won the game at Clemson? Could you have been in a more competitive game against Florida? I don't know. I don't know how it would have played out. But this is a weekend where you should get going. And next week when you go to Ole Miss against a team that is not very good defensively, it's my opinion. We'll talk plenty about that next week. I think in these next 2 weeks you should see LSU's offense get going. So I'm glad Garrett Nussmeier is going to play. Hopefully they get out there, run around, and put up some gaudy numbers, get everybody maybe feeling a little bit better before they head to Oxford. A few other notes here. I guess the other 2 things that are notable, Brian Kelly deferred when it came to being asked about Jabbar Jalouk, saying the commissioner knows more than he does. Better equipped to answer about Jalouk's 3-game suspension if it should have been more. By now, you know where I feel on that. Jabbar Jalouk should have been fired immediately. Billy Napier, in his comments to reporters earlier today, said with that suspension, Jalouk is allowed to coach during the week. He just can't participate in the games. So his duties during the games will be divvied up. The fact that man is still employed by the University of Florida is an absolute disgrace to the Southeastern Conference and the University of Florida. He should have been fired the millisecond everyone was aware that he struck a player on the field before the game. And the fact that he's being allowed to get away with just a 3-game suspension is maddening. And I can't sit here and yell about it any more than I did a day ago. And I think a lot of you agree with me, looking at every comment on every piece of content that's been out there from LSU fans and impartial people alike. Sensible people look at that and go, there is no reality where that should be allowed. But apparently Sunbelt Billy, Scott Strickland, and Greg Sankey are A-OK, just letting coaches slap players of the opposing team in the face and just handing them a 3-game suspension. All right, biggie. Got it. The other notable is the thing I wanted to talk about, which is the SEC schedule. So Brandon Marcello was the first reported earlier today. The SEC is on Tuesday going to unveil the opponents for the 2026 SEC football schedule. Not the schedule. We won't know the order in which games are going to be played and when and all that sort of stuff. But everyone will know their opponents. Now, Brian Kelly said the AD here knows the annual opponents. So that would be Scott Woodward. But he said, but the head coach doesn't. Kelly said you can make a case for half dozen teams to be natural rivals, but other teams want those games as well. So we will find out on Tuesday who LSU's three. They're not calling them permanent opponents. They're calling them annual opponents. So we know that there will be three teams that LSU will play every year. And that'll be the case for everybody. We've gone through this before. I've created the grid. There are some games that you know naturally are going to happen every year. So you get the 16 teams, you draw them all, you 1, 2, 3 different columns, and you're all right, who do we know are going to play? Well, we know Alabama and Auburn are going to play. We know Auburn and Georgia are going to play. We know that Alabama and Tennessee are going to play. Ole Miss and Mississippi State are going to play. Texas and Texas A&M, Texas and Oklahoma, Florida and Georgia. Like, there's games we know that are going to happen that are just Tennessee, Vandy. Like, these games are going to happen every year. So you start there with what you know, and then you try to fill in the gaps therein. I've said it before. I think the most complicated decision the SEC is going to have to make is LSU Bama. And I know overwhelmingly people think that game is going to happen. And it may. But if it does, it is going to be much to the chagrin of the University of Alabama. And it would be nice to see the league stick it to them for once. But I'll remind you, Auburn, Tennessee, LSU. If those are the three annual games that Alabama gets, that is a brutal draw. And there will be no team in the league that gets a more brutal draw than those three. And I remember a few years ago when they were having this conversation, and they were talking about pods or different ways to go about it, and your permanents, if it to be 2 or 3, whatever. Their explanation Greg Sankey gave several years ago was they took the league and they looked at the last 20 years of success of win-loss records, and they split the league in half. You had the top half and the bottom half. And the top half was going to play 2 games against each other and 1 game against the bottom, and the bottom was going to play 2 games against each other and 1 against the top. And so when they made the case at the time for Alabama to play LSU, Auburn, and Tennessee at the time was in the bottom half. Tennessee had some lean years. The end of Philip Fulmer, the Derek Dooley era was a disgrace. Jeremy Pruitt, the guy who looked like a thumb. I mean, they had a lot of lean years. Now they're getting it on track with Josh Heupel. So it's a really difficult game now because Tennessee, I think, is objectively, would all agree in the top half. They were in the college football playoff a year ago, and they might be again this season. But if Alabama draws those 3, it would be the toughest draw in the league. And I don't know if the league's going to do that. The one thing that makes me think that's what's going to happen is the SEC also said the 3 annuals will be evaluated after 4 years. So it kind of leads you to believe, because remember, in a 4-year period with this scheduling format, every team in the league will play every team home and away over that 4-year period. So if you go to school and you show up and you play for 4 years, you will play in every venue. You play every team home and away in the SEC over a 4-year period. So they'll let it play for a 4-year period, and then they'll reassess after that, which I think is a sensible way to go about doing it. The nonsensical thing is having permanent opponents. It's stupid. There's no reason to do it. I understand the pageantry and the history and the traditions and the blah, 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 and it's just stupid. Like, they said the same thing about Michigan and Oklahoma, or Nebraska and Oklahoma. They don't play anymore, and the beat goes on. Texas and Texas A&M. They didn't play for more than a decade, and the beat goes on. College football will survive if Auburn and Georgia don't play every year. I'm sure it means a lot to those 2 fan bases. I don't give a rip if they play every year. You know what I'm excited about this year? I'm excited about Bama going to Athens. I'm excited about Texas and Georgia. Just give me good football. I don't care because these 2 teams played in 1923. I don't care at all about what happened 112 years ago when dudes without helmets were running around on a dirt field playing again. It's irrelevant to me in my life. Give me good football now is what I want to see. So I know I'm in a minority, but I would just prefer equitable scheduling that rotates every year. The SEC is not going to do that. They're going to protect some of these rivalries, but the most complex decision they have to make, clearly, is what they're going to do with Alabama and LSU. Like, that is because Alabama's going to play Auburn and Tennessee. Like, book it. Those are locked in stone. Bama's going to play Auburn and Tennessee. Do they play LSU also? That's going to be the decision they have to make. It'll be the most fascinating decision the league makes with scheduling. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by River City's 1 hour. Excuse me. I'll get to that in a second. We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit. My apologies. FirstSouthLand.com. FirstSouthLand.com. If you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. They're simply the best. They've been doing it for more than 100 years. If you're thinking of buying land, why would you call anyone other than First South Farm Credit, who has done one thing for more than a century? Help Louisianians buy land. Maybe you live in New Orleans, but you want to move to the North Shore but continue working in the city. You want the rural lifestyle but working in the city. First South Farm Credit can make that happen. They have an office in Tangipahoa, so you can actually do business with someone who lives where you want to live. Sell you that land. You can build your family's dream home, commute into the city. They offer that for anything. Maybe you want to buy a home in the Felicianas. Maybe it's St. Francisville. You want to buy land to build your home there. First South Farm Credit can help. It's firstsouthland.com. Land is a finite resource. It can be a great tax write-off as well. Ask your CPA. First South Farm Credit. Firstsouthland.com. That's firstsouthland.com. Okay, it is After Further Review. We're going to knock out a break. Mike Triplett will join us next. We'll talk Saints Seahawks. Final look there when we can come back and continue here on AFR.
AFR.
All right, y'all. Tomorrow is a Football Friday, which means the LSU football Tigers are going to pack up their bags. They're going to move it on in to Renaissance Baton Rouge. Right there on Bluebonnet, near I-10, across from the Mall of Louisiana and Perkins Row. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge. Gorgeous, sprawling hotel, big enough to host the entire LSU football program, their team meetings. The grand ballroom is where they have their team meals and their full team meetings. They have the smaller rooms that can be partitioned off where they can have the individual and position group meetings. Of course, they've got boardrooms. So if you need a meeting space for a dozen people to have lunch and board meetings, they can help you there as well at Renaissance Baton Rouge. Call Allison Crump. She's the events coordinator at Renaissance Baton Rouge and at Watermark Baton Rouge for both properties. And I love what Allison says. If it's a wedding reception, if it's a fundraiser, if it's an awards banquet, we're in the business of saying yes. It's Renaissance Baton Rouge. Join us for Friday's AFR live from Don Juan Cigar Bar, presented by Sagamore Spirit Rye. We'll have craft cocktails, someone's winning tickets to the game, and of course a fine premium cigar. Friday's AFR, presented by Sagamore Spirit.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit LouisianaPropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Mike! Yeah?
New Orleans Saints coverage with some Mad Libs mixed in.
Why don't you just go by Mike?
It's time to talk black and gold with Mike Triplett of New Orleans Football. Presented by Benny's Car Wash. Family owned and operated since 1951.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing great, man. I'm curious at 0-2 right now, and being in the Dome with sort of a San Francisco 49er fan takeover, where you kind of gauge fan interest on this season right now, 2 games in?
I don't think the fan interest is super strong game to game, like living on like they need to win this game today. And I'm so passionate about it. I mean, it was a 49ers takeover because a lot of 49ers fans were willing to buy tickets. I'm curious what the next few home games will look like. It could be empty seats. It could be a quieter dome. This part of that trend has been going on for a few years now with the missed playoff seasons. And we've heard boos in the Dome, and we've seen empty seats in the Dome. I mean, that's the state of this team right now. I think there is still fan interest in the team, but it's a lot more like, when are we going to get this thing back up and running? Let me know when we do, because the games themselves aren't individually super compelling, especially at 0-2, like you said.
Yeah. This game this week brings on a different layer of intrigue for different reasons, which we'll get to in a second. But through 2 weeks, I can't say Spencer Rattler has been the problem. I don't know that he's proven to be the answer. Where do you fall on that sliding scale?
Yeah, he's somewhere in between. I know that's a cop-out answer. There's a lot in between. I think he's pretty good. I don't know how high his ceiling goes. I'm glad that he's the guy out there right now as opposed to the veteran they previously had or some other veteran that they brought in. I mean, if you're going to compare him and say, should it be him or the guy they picked 40th overall, that's interesting conversation that'll be had for months and maybe years to come. But I'm glad that it's a young quarterback that we're finding out more about each week. And I think he's very quickly kind of slid into people realizing, he kind of doesn't look that much different than all the other guys who were drafted last year, even though they were drafted first and second and third overall. He's a work in progress, but he's got some real talent. It's almost a shame that we keep comparing him to Tyler Shuck, because if he was just the one developmental guy and that was it, I think people would be really encouraged right now.
Do you think, or what scenario do you think would have to unfold for New Orleans to give Tyler Shuck a shot?
Well, we talked about this on the show this week. I think there's a couple things. I think obviously, no duh, Spencer Rattler can hold him at bay by playing very well and winning a lot of games, and just making it clear you can't bench me the way I'm playing right now. But the wins are a very important part of that, because even if Rattler keeps this up and he keeps playing at this level, he needs to make sure it's not for a team that is about to have the first or second pick in next year's draft. I think if the Saints feel like there's a deadline on their decisions, then they're going to have to take a look at Tyler Shuck at some point, because they're going to need that information. So I think the answer is, play really well, obviously, but also make sure you win enough games that they don't feel like they need to do a full evaluation of all their current quarterbacks before next year's draft.
Mike Triplett's with us, New Orleans Football. Chats every week, brought to you by Benny's Car Wash. Learn more about your options and your membership options at bennyscarwash.com, bennyscarwash.com. Trevor Penning going to play this week?
He's touch and go. He's making the trip to Seattle, though. That's obviously a good sign. He's been out at practice both days, even though he was limited. Seeing him out there on Wednesday was definitely a positive. So I think there's a good chance. And boy, do they need him, because all of a sudden now Dylan Radins can't go and Tali Fuaga might not go. So the offensive line is that position group so far this year.
What did they? It was that last year as well.
Well, they all were last year.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. What about a left guard though? I mean, with Saldiveri out for the season, Penning gets hurt, now Radins gets hurt. It's almost unbelievable they're walking that path again. What do you think is a realistic expectation for that line this week if you do see a shuffle with no Fuaga, or if Penning is limited?
Yeah, if Penning can play, then, really the one position you're worried about is right tackle. They luckily acquired that Awesome Richards from Dallas. He has some experience, but all of his previous experience had come at left tackle. Right tackle's new to him. I think he struggled a little bit when he came into the game in week one. So that would be your big worry spot. But in theory, you'd have experienced starters at every other position and just hope for the health with Penning. So it would help a lot if he can play. Otherwise, you might be throwing rookie Torricelli Simpkins in there as well and have two big question marks.
I have no interest in seeing that against Seattle's defensive line. Not that defensive line. Okay, Chase Young. Mike, why didn't they put him on short-term IR?
If there was any chance he was going to come back in less than 4 weeks, then there's no reason to do that. It's not like they desperately needed those roster spots. They've had healthy inactives every week anyway. So, if he only misses 3 games, then it was worth it not to. But just, sometimes they don't know for sure. If it's a 2 to 4 week injury, you're hoping it's closer to the 2, and they didn't desperately need that roster spot. They're churning guys in and out of that last roster spot all the time anyway. So that doesn't bother me whenever a guy is in the window, I guess. But it does look like he's about to miss his 3rd game.
Were you encouraged by anything or anyone in particular defensively against San Francisco?
Yeah, we might have been talking about an excellent defensive performance if they could just get off the dang field and on 3rd down. The list of 3rd downs that the 49ers converted in that game were ridiculous. It was like 3rd and 14, 3rd and 13, 3rd and 11. A lot of them were because of a 5-yard penalty that came with an automatic first down. But, they were doing what they were supposed to on 1st and 2nd down. They were bottling up Christian McCaffrey in the run game anyway pretty well. He got leaky on them on that touchdown right before halftime. So, fairly encouraging. They did enough to keep that game competitive, and then they just couldn't get off the field. So, I still would like to see more pass rush from this team, obviously, and not having Chase Young doesn't help that. We'll see Alante Taylor and Kool-Aid McKinstry get tested this week by Jackson Smith and Jigba and Cooper Kupp. They're still a TBD, but they were close. I don't know how long we're going to give them any points for being close, but they were close.
The Saints are near the bottom of the league in pressures right now, so they could certainly use Chase Young getting back. Is there a spot on the field where you think the Saints might have an advantage over Seattle?
An advantage over Seattle. I'm trying to think. I still think Alvin Kamara looks like he's one of the elite backs in the league, and they're doing a decent job with him when they're getting the ball in his hands. I think he's a problem for Seattle's defense. I'm very curious about Seattle's injury report because they've got 2 really good defensive backs who are both questionable and touch and go whether they're going to play this week or not. So, there's some chances for the Saints to keep producing the same level of all their skill position players are healthy right now. They still have the Olave Shaheed combination, Brandon Cooks, Juwan Johnson. They should be able to move the ball. I don't think they'll just be completely shut down. But yeah, like we said at the beginning of this conversation, the offensive line needs to allow them to do that.
Would Sean Payton have already cut Blake Grupe?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Sean Payton has Will Lutz in Denver with him. He's loyal to guys who have proven skins on the wall, and I think Blake Grupe falls in that department of proven. But you quickly find out how long that lasts if this continues. They want to chalk it up to a fluke. I mean, it's crazy. I don't know if we jinxed him or what, but I mean, he was like arguably the MVP of the summer. He missed one kick ever all summer in any practice session, any preseason game, anything. And then 2 weeks into the season, he's already missed 2 kicks.
Yeah. Any reason for optimism Sunday against Seattle except for the any given Sunday mantra?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Seattle's this perfect team. I mean, the Saints just, were within upset range against the 49ers, and the 49ers and Seahawks was a 17-13 game a couple weeks ago. The Niners beat them. I put the Seahawks somewhere in that great middle of similar to the Cardinals, similar to the Niners. I'm going to pick the Saints to lose by 6 points again, just like they keep doing to all these teams. But I don't look at this matchup the way I'm going to look at Saints at Buffalo a week later.
Yeah, that should be overwhelming. But the Saints do have a couple opportunities when they come home from Buffalo with the Giants and the Patriots. Those are gettable games for New Orleans. We'll see if maybe Kellen Moore can notch his first win before then. Mike Triplett, NewOrleans.football. Our chats every single week are brought to you by Benny's Car Wash. You can learn more about the Benny's membership club at bennyscarwash.com, bennyscarwash.com. Unlimited car wash memberships, bennyscarwash.com. Mike, we appreciate it as always, man. Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks for having me.
All right, man. We'll do it again next week. It's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Arco Power Systems, ARCCO. Arco.com, Arco.com. It's Arco Power Systems. This is really easy to explain. Power goes out, need a generator. That's Arco. I'm not talking about for your home. They are not a residential generator provider. This is Generac Industrial Power. So this is for your business. If you are a hospital, a grocery store, a convenience store, a restaurant, a bank, a roofing company, a broadcast entity. We have a giant generator on the outside of this building because if a storm comes and power goes out, we don't have the option of being off air, just like your business doesn't have the option of shutting down. Arco Power Systems can make sure you stay online. ARCCO. Arco.com, Arco.com, Arco.com. It's that easy. ARCCO, Arco.com. It does not matter what your business is, how big, small, large, if it's municipality. If storm comes and power goes out and you need power, you need Arco. Arco Power Systems. ARCCO, Arco.com, Arco.com. All right, it's After Further Review. When you're hot, you're hot. What happened? I saw your text. What happened? Did they hit one?
Not a bet, but Otter did win an award.
Oh. Check my text. I just saw your text. It said when you're hot, you're hot.
Yeah.
Oh, he got Yard of the Month.
Got Yard of the Month.
Attaboy.
It's our guy.
Our guy got Yard of the Month. Okay, we'll talk to the winner, the newly crowned winner of the Yard of the Month next on AFR.
AFR.
During the show, in the first hour, I got a text from Nancy Herron, my old high school English teacher, who said, hey, can you recommend a good AC company that won't take advantage? Absolutely. River City's 1 hour air. Call them, 752-0001. Sent out the number, said, call the line, call the number. You're going to talk to a human, and they will come out to you tonight. And by the way, if you're worried about taking advantage, they will never do that. They're going to give you, if you need a repair, they're going to give you a good, better, and best option. And you decide based on your budget what you'd like to do. I'll give you an example. When Eric and I bought our current house, the AC in our bedroom was the original AC, and it was on its last leg. We decided to just maintenance it, just little maintenance repairs, and we got another 9 years out of that unit. They're the best. It's River City's 1 hour air.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. We'll choose 5 male and 5 female finalists, and then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Parish Construction and Roofing. This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs. From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
Hi, this is Beth Serena. Welcome to my pool. The first time I saw this beautiful pool, it exceeded every expectation that I had. They were able to get everything we wanted in this pool. It is a beautiful pool. We live out here, we eat out here, we watch TV out here. This is like our living room outside. We love this pool and everything about it. When we decided to build our pool, we called a great friend who is one of the best pool builders in the country in North Louisiana, and we said, who would you choose to build a pool in Baton Rouge? And without a hesitation, he told us Russell Pools. He said their history, tradition of great builds, great pools was unmatched. So of course, who did we call? Russell Pools. The advice I would give to anyone looking to build a pool is first call Russell Pools. They'll do an incredible job. It'll be incredibly organized. It'll be time efficient. And you will have your pool in no time.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews.
After further review with Matt Moscona, presented by Decision Critical Concierge Nursing. Healthcare for your lifestyle. Learn more at decisioncriticalbr.com.
Down the stretch we come, final segment. Thursday edition of AFR. We do appreciate always Blazia and the great team over at Decision Critical. Not just healthcare, it's healthcare for your lifestyle. DecisionCriticalBR.com. DecisionCriticalBR.com. All right, time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Otter, how are you?
Doing good, man. Just finished the yard work, looking good, ready to watch some games.
Congratulations on Yard of the Month. The picture looks beautiful.
Doesn't it? I mean, that's Keeneland turf, baby. Kentucky turf.
I'm not patronizing. I pay someone to do my yard because I'll never cut grass again. I hate doing it, and it's worth my time to pay someone else to do it. But if you enjoy it and you can make it look that good, God bless you, man. It looks awesome.
9 knee surgeries. I got to compete in something, boy. I mean, shoot. I mean, come on, man. I got to keep scoreboard on something. I mean, shoot. Anyway, let's get to it. The Thursday night football divisional matchup is a very popular pick in the survivor pools and knockout pools. And with Buffalo, we know about the road team visiting on a short week and all that. So, well, you watch the Dolphins, and I mean, that makes you pretty scared to bet them. But you know what they say. Fear creates value. We're going to say the 0-2 teams, Matt, are covering on the next week. No, not when they play each other, but 0-2 teams are covering at a clip of almost 70%. over the last 10 years. So it's a desperation angle. So the Saints are in that same boat this year. But this is a team with the Dolphins' expectations, been to the playoffs, and kind of had their chances and looked better at times. But a little desperate spot here for the Dolphins. We're going to take it was 12.5 earlier. I think it dropped to 11.5.
I'm looking at 12.5 at DraftKings.
All right, Charlotte and Rice, home team, Thursday night, catching points. Public all over Rice in this one. Rice went to ULL and took care of them. ULL is not good this year, so they're really struggling, man, especially defensively. I could not believe how poor defensive run that they had. So we're going to go with Charlotte home dog in that one. And then a key game in the American League West. Well, San Diego already lost today, but we're going to take the Giants. Webb's been hot, and the Giants have played much better than the Dodgers over the last 30 games or so. We're going to take the Giants at a plus $1.40 at a plus price.
Yep. $1.43 at DraftKings. Rufino's tomorrow.
Lock of the Week Friday, presented by Texas Mark, 10 a.m. Film study with Richard Dixon and Hanny. We go all the way to 1. Good luck.
See ya. That's Jimmy Ott, the newly minted Yard of the Month winner, James Ott. Jimmy and Charlie will be at Rufino's kicking off Football Friday starting at 10 a.m. on 104.5 ESPN in Baton Rouge. Of course, you can get it online or on YouTube as well. I'm Hughes Pauly. Thanks. Y'all have an awesome night. We're at Don Juan tomorrow. See you then.
After further review.
Getting on down the road, reminder about Shawbill's Tire and Auto Service, ShawbillsTire.com, ShawbillsTire.com. Shawbill's, where we keep you rolling name brand tires at wholesale prices. And, of course, they always offer the Charlie's Dozen. That's a dozen benefits to you and your family when you buy tires at Shawbill's, meaning they're going to do great things like free tire repair, free tire rotations, free alignments for the life of the tires. Whenever you buy them at Shawbill's, you get all of the Charlie's Dozen and the price match guarantee. How about this? They guarantee the lowest price. Buy tires at Shawbill's. If you find those tires advertised cheaper, they will refund you 125% of the difference. How about that? They're just awesome to work with. It's Shawbill's Tire and Auto Service. Schedule service online, shop tires online, find the location nearest you online at ShawbillsTire.com, ShawbillsTire.com. It's Shawbill's, where we keep you rolling.
At Luba Workers' Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief: our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana Propane. And when you need hot water, Propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
ED, low T, or simply seeking to optimize your health and performance? Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness offers a range of discreet services to address your specific needs. We empower men to reclaim their health and confidence. Visit yourgoodwood.com.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
River Parish Contractors has immediate openings for structural steel shop fabricators. Call or text Big Jake today at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com and click on employment. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Tiger Country is 100.7 The Tiger. In the car on 100.7 FM or on the 100.7 The Tiger app. 90s country and beyond. 100.7 The Tiger.